Battle of Georgia is back. Atlanta hosts Savannah for the first time since November. The rivalry is renewed. Atlanta at 21-6 hosts Savannah at 13-3. Good evening, everyone. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming here on Military Night at Gas South Arena for the first game of a home series between these two clubs. I'd like to thank everybody who has served in our armed forces or is currently serving. Their hard work and dedication to our country and our freedom does not go unnoticed and is certainly not forgotten. Andrew, here tonight we've got a good one on tap with all the vets in the house. Gladiators meet the Ghost Pirates for the first time since early November.
Yeah, first time between the Gladiators and the Ghost Pirates since November 8th. Atlanta's taken both games against Savannah so far this season, so it'll be an interesting matchup tonight. Obviously, haven't seen Savannah in about 2 months here, so going to be a bit of a feeling out process here these first couple of minutes as we saw the Greensboro last weekend.
Gladiators won the first meeting on November 1st, 4-2, and then won a thriller on November 8th in Savannah, 2-1 in overtime when Jack Mateer scored the game-winning goal. And that was the last time we saw the Ghost Pirates. Now, these two teams were supposed to play each other on December 27th and 28th, but those got postponed and will be rescheduled to a later date due to the work stoppage and the whole CBA, ECHL stoppage there around the Christmas break. So those games will be rescheduled at a later date. Make sure you follow our social media platforms and channels to stay up to date on when those games will be rescheduled for. But because of that, it is the first meeting since November 8th, and it should be a good one. Andrew, Savannah riding a 3-game win streak. That is tied for their longest win streak of the season. Bit of an up-and-down year for Savannah to start, but it feels like they're hitting their stride right now. As for the Gladiators, they've won their last 5. They have a chance to match their season-long win streak of 6, which they started with to open the season.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting game tonight. 2 hot teams coming into this one. It's going to be a fun one to watch, I'm feeling. We're going to have a fun night tonight.
Gladiators and the Ghost Pirates meeting here tonight on Military Night at Gas South Arena. And Gas South Arena has been an absolute fortress here for Atlanta here this season. And we like to call it the Coliseum. I like to call it the Gas South Arena. But, I mean, it's got many names. But, I mean, what can you say? I mean, the Gladiators have been unstoppable in this building as of late. As Atlanta is 12-2 at home. That's an .857 win percentage in this building, Andrew. They have been sensational. Why do you think that is?
You know, I think part of it has to do with these great fans we have that come out to Gas South Arena. We get a great, loud crowd in here that the Glads love going out and performing in front of. And it's just such an important part of a team to be able to win at home. If you can win the majority of your games at home, it's going to be huge for you going into the playoffs. And the Gladiators have proven that so far this season, putting themselves smack dab in a playoff spot right now.
Let's talk about the special teams battle coming into today, Andrew. Seems like a common theme for some of these South Division teams is to be either really good or really bad on either the power play or the penalty kill. For the Gladiators, they're a little bit above average in both categories. Tell me about the matchup here today.
Yeah, so the Gladiators coming in, clicking at 18.5% on their power play for 14th in the league. And on their penalty kill, Gladiators up at 84.3% for 8th. As for Savannah, a little bit worse on the power play, only clicking at 17% for 23rd in the league. But on the penalty kill, Savannah much better, 87% at 3rd overall in the league. So I feel like we've seen a lot of teams like this so far this year, Guy, who are probably a little more mediocre on the power play, but really pick it up on their penalty kill. So it shouldn't be much different for the Gladiators here tonight. They've dealt with a lot of good penalty kills so far this season.
The Gladiators are coming off of a 3-0 win over the Greensboro Gargoyles in this building last Saturday night as the Gladiators defeated the Gargoyles in the first meeting ever between those two. Jack O'Brien scored the game-winning goal. Ethan Scardina had one in the second as well, and then Joey Cipollone buried the empty netter to put the dagger in the side of the Gargoyles. But interesting game there, Andrew. TJ Semptimphelter ends up stopping 30 of 30. He does get the win. And Ethan Hyder came in, stopped 6 of 6 in about 7.5 minutes of game time due to an equipment issue with Semptimphelter in the 3rd period. Ends up being a shutout win for the Gladiators, and that statistic does go to the club, not the individuals. So Semptimphelter and Hyder were both perfect, but the shutout statistically does go to the Gladiators. But all around, a great win for Atlanta. They went 0 for 4 on the power play, but did go 2 for 2 on the penalty kill as we watch that special teams matchup here tonight against the Ghost Pirates. And for Atlanta, you talk about that power play, you talk about this team, they've got an all-star cast. And yes, that pun is intended. Atlanta sending 3 representatives to the All-Star Classic in Allen on the 19th of this month. Head coach Matt Ginn will be the representative from the Eastern Conference. Jack O'Brien is headed to the All-Star game, and of course, TJ Sempton-Felter, the man between the pipes, is going as well, Andrew. And it is a testament to this team, talking about it all week long with these three. And the first thing that comes to mind when you ask them about going to the All-Star game, their teammates. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, you know, this team, they've played so well together this year. Obviously, we've seen it from Sempton-Felter, statistically one of the best goaltenders in the league. He's just been absolutely lights out for this team so far this season. And O'Brien, he's come in, and he's just been a great player so far for the Gladiators. Obviously hasn't been here very long, coming in from a trade a couple weeks ago. But he's just been so solid for this Gladiators team after losing Louis Boudon, and he's just kind of filled that role that Boudon was playing in.
You know, O'Brien was acquired in a trade with the Iowa Heartlanders alongside Nolan Orzek for Jack Robilotti and Anthony Furiolo, and that has been a sensational trade for the Gladiators, as O'Brien has scored in each of his first 2 games as a Gladiator. Tonight is his 3rd. We'll see if he can triple down and make it 3 in a row with a goal with his new team. For the Gladiators, they are looking to improve to 22-6 and make it 6 in a row. Atlanta is on a 7-game home winning streak, and they are showing no signs of slowing down. On the other side of the break, we will get to the keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota and Mazda. We also take a look at our starting lineups here today at Gas South Arena, where the Gladiators host the Ghost Pirates in the latest edition of the Battle of Georgia. We're back after this.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official supplier; EFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Just about ready for action here tonight on Military Night at Gas South Arena in the latest edition of the Battle of Georgia, as the Atlanta Gladiators host the Savannah Ghost Pirates here in the 3rd meeting of the season between these two clubs. All right, let's get to the keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota and Mazda with our head coach, Matt Ginn. And these themes have been recurring throughout the course of the season. These 3 have pretty much been the main ones. Number 1 is to play our game, and the Gladiators seem to be one of those teams that do really well at not just moving in transition and scoring, but playing a north style of game and keeping the puck in their opponent's zone, kind of suffocating them in a way until they eventually score. Offense is the best defense, and we'll see if Atlanta can get to that game here today. And it all starts with stellar goaltending between the pipes, as they will be led by Ethan Hyder. Second key is to limit their speed. This is a speedy Savannah Ghost Pirate team that plays kind of similar to Greenville, I would say. Gladiators have matched up well against the Swamp Rabbits this season, and they're 2-0 against the Ghost Pirates. Look to continue that trend here tonight against those speedy teams with with a win here today against Savannah. And finally, the third key to the game is to manage the puck. Sweet but simple. Atlanta will look to keep the puck in their own hands. Don't want to turn it over to a speedy team like the Ghost Pirates, as they will make you pay. And so those are the keys to the game with our head coach, Matt Ginn, presented by Beaver Toyota and Mazda. With that, let's get to our starting lineups here tonight. We will start with the Savannah Ghost Pirates, who will start number 11, Christophe Tellier at the left wing position. Starting down the middle is number 41, Nicholas Zabanet, and at right wing is number 29, Riley Hughes. All three under contract with the Ghost Pirates AHL affiliate, the Charlotte Checkers. On the blue line, it'll be number 24, Will Rydell, making his first appearance in the Battle of Georgia this season, paired up with number 2, Dennis Savannah, under contract with the Charlotte Checkers. He is Savannah's all-star representative. And between the pipes is number 34, Evan Cormier. Starting for your Atlanta Gladiators is number 18 at left wing, Carson Denemy, standing at 6'1", 194, native of Regina, Saskatchewan. Had a goal and an assist for a pretty big weekend last week. Now up to 3 goals and 5 assists for 8 points in 27 games. His starting center here tonight is the all-star number 19, Jack O'Brien, standing at 6'1", 184. Had a game-winning goal on Saturday against Greensboro to bring his total to 13 on the season in 27 games. His starting right wing is number 71, Joey Cipollone, standing at 5'11", 192. Cipollone with 7 goals and 7 assists for 14 points in 27 games this season. We'll round out that starting forward line for the Gladiators. On the back end, it is number 6, Andrew Jarvis, standing at 5'9", 181. From Morrisburg, Ontario, picked up an assist in the last game, paired up with number 74, Dylan Carabia, standing at 6'3", 200. And in goal, it is number 31, Ethan Hyder, standing at 6'4", 190. Coming up next here from Gas South Arena is God Bless America, sung by Crystal Wilson, and the national anthem brought to you by North Hall High School.
As the American Legion and VFW Georgia Department honors our nation with a presentation of colors. And please remain standing over heart as we honor America, all the brave men and women who serve our country, with the singing of the national anthem performed by North Hall High School Band. Will captains from both teams please join us in the southwest corner of the ice for crumble puck delivery and ceremonial puck drops. Presenting the crumble puck delivery of the game and the first puck drop of the night is Christian with Slapshot Contracting, a proud partner of the Atlanta Gladiators. Presenting tonight's military puck drop is Jimmy with Five-Star Credit Union, tonight's presenting partner. Dropping the second Five-Star military puck drop of the night, representing the American Legion, please welcome Michael Schwartz, and from the VFW, Bill Miles. Born in Jacksonville, Florida, Gilbert and his twin brother Howard answered the call to serve during World War II. Assigned to the 32nd Rainbow Division, the brothers deployed to Europe in 1945, seeing combat in France and Germany. They participated in the Alsace, Ardennes, and Rhine campaigns, and were present at the liberation of the Dachau concentration camp on April 29, 1945. They were served in the Army of Occupation of Austria and returned home in 1946. We proudly honor his service and remember his broken heart. And born in 1925, Allen served with General Patton's Third Army, landing on Utah Beach in August of 1944. He saw combat across France, Luxembourg, and Germany, including during the Battle of the Bulge, where he narrowly survived an enemy artillery strike near Bastogne. Allen remained in Europe until Germany surrendered and was honorably discharged in 1945. His many honors include multiple campaign medals, the French Legion of Honor, and Luxembourg's Order of Merit. Now living in Gainesville, Georgia, Allen recently returned to Europe for the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Please join us in thanking Hilbert Margot and Alan Kinder for their courageous story.
Awesome stuff here tonight on Military Night. 2 World War II veterans, both over 100 years old, Alan and Hilbert, joining us for the puck drop here tonight on Military Night. What a moment as the Cravans salute those two, and we salute everybody who has served in our armed forces or is currently serving. Thank you so much for what you do for our freedom and our country. Guy Chiarenza joined by Andrew Fleming. We're just about set and ready for the latest edition of the Battle of Georgia. Gladiators have won the first 2, Andrew, but it's been a while since these 2 teams last saw each other. The last one was on November 8th in Savannah. Quick one here to start off, a home and home, and then tomorrow night we're in Savannah. What are you looking for out of this Gladiators team in the first few shifts or so?
Yeah, I'm looking for them to come out and start fast. You mentioned in the pregame show, Savannah's a team that likes to play fast. I'd love for the Gladiators to come out, match that pace, and try and put one in the net early here.
Gladiators have been electric and good at scoring first so far this season. Gladiators have scored first in 19 out of 27 games so far this season. That's about 70% of the games they've played, and they are 17-2 when they do so. And oh, by the way, they've scored first in 5 straight games. And it is no coincidence they are on a 5-game win streak. 3-man officiating crew here tonight, led by our referee, Ryan Siegel, wearing number 42. Linesman, 49, Quinn Schaefer, and number 67, Kyle Gaspari, as the puck is dropped. And away we go here on a Friday night in Duluth. Off the opening draw, Savannah works it in, gets it to the line, shot in front, waiting back door for a chance was Tellier. Did not get to him, so at the line, Savannah feeds it across, and Savannah makes their way to the left circle as Tellier plays it to the line. Shot by Rydell, and he will score from long range. 25 seconds in, the Ghost Pirates strike first.
Yeah, just not a great start for the Gladiators there. Get pinned in their own zone. Puck gets cycled up top there to Rydell. One-timer from the point, seeing eye shot. I don't think Hyder ever saw it. Gets by him. Early deficit for the Gladiators here.
So the streak of scoring first for the Gladiators comes to an end. Savannah has drawn first blood as Rydell, making his first appearance in the Battle of Georgia so far this season, picks up goal number 3 on the campaign. 3 goals and 16 assists. Or, excuse me, 3 goals on the season in 16 games for Rydell. Savannah right back on it, makes their way to the end wall. Atlanta able to pick it free, although the Ghost Pirates still pressuring as Koopman is there. Tries to dig his way towards the net. And then finally out in front, Nolan's able to strip it away. Gladiators wearing their black alternate jerseys, the night mode jerseys, inspired by the Atlanta Knights. Skate from right to left to begin play here today as the puck goes out of play. Savannah wearing a white jersey with black numbers and that Ghost Pirate green trim. We'll skate from left to right here to begin play. Face-off will be right at center circle. Scardino will take this, going up against Josh Lapina. Scardino with a goal in his last game. Second goal for the Gladiators in that 3-0 win over the Gargoyles in this building. So Christophe Tellier picks up one of the assists on the goal as Francis and the Gladiators are offside on their first attempt to make their way into the Savannah zone. And Andrew, big uncharacteristic for the Gladiators here today, allowing the first goal. See how they respond here in the next few shifts.
Yeah, it's just been a little sloppy here for the Gladiators in this first minute, just not seeming to be connecting on anything so far.
Neutral zone face-off. Scardino will come out to take it, and he will win it back to Conroy. And the Gladiators look to start a sequence in the offensive zone. Burns to Scardina. The near side half wall puck leaks to the line, and Orchek can't keep it alive. Racing forward is Davies. Takes a shot into the glove of Hyder, and he will freeze. Just a minute and 32 seconds into this one.
Yeah, just a couple of mishandles of the puck here early for the Gladiators. Saw Francis mishandle the puck at the opposing blue line. That led to an offside. Orzek mishandles that puck there at the right point, leading to a Ghost Pirates chance. Gladiators just got to clean it up here.
So the Rydell goal scored 25 seconds in as his 3rd of the year, assisted by Tellier and Riley Hughes. And it has become an early deficit for the Gladiators. They'll try to wipe that away, but gonna have to put a pin in that as they ice the puck. 18-18 on the clock. And we'll pay a visit to Ethan Hyder, who last time we saw him was in the Gladiators' last game. Came in relief of Semtenfelter. Stopped 6 of 6 in about 7.5 minutes of game time due to an equipment malfunction for Semtenfelter. Hyder did the job. Ended up helping in that win, but the last time he started, 7-4 win against Greenville last Friday. Made a career-high 41 saves. Stopped 41 out of 45 in that victory for the Gladiators. Big hit in the neutral zone. Scardina gets a good piece of Drevich. Puck comes down to the Gladiator trapezoid. Francis skates away from it on the right wing, looks up, tries to find an open man and does. Has Caribbi at the red line, enters on the left side for a shot in and out of the glove of Cormier. There to pick it up in front of him is Savannah, who subsequently turns it over. Shot is blocked. Caribbi a second chance into traffic, plops onto the stick of Drevich. Can't get out of the zone as Jarvis is there at the left point to keep. Steers it to the right wing. Yoder playing as a forward here tonight. Comes pinching in, but eventually does come to the Ghost Pirates, and they will lift it out to center and get a line change in. Caribia pushing in again on the left side, flips it wide to the right of Cormier. Puck will go around to the far wall. Caribia still with it, tries to slam it back down deeper and does. From the trapezoid is Savannah, pestered by Yoder, able to lift it out to center, where Mateer tries to drive it out, and pushing forward are the Ghost Pirates. Driving that ahead was Zabane. Gladiators able to sniff it out. Morgan from the neutral zone puts it on goal. Makes Cormier do a little bit of work there. Ghost Pirates back out to center. Zabane trying to enter. Drops it off for Hughes. Knifes towards the goal. Poke checked away by Hyder. Hughes has it behind the cage. Delayed penalty on the Gladiators. Out in front. Zabane will score. The breakdown below the goal line sets it up nicely for Zabane on a tee. 2-0. Savannah. And this one is not yet 5 minutes old.
Yeah, just another tough shift for the Gladiators there. Created some good ozone pressure from their fourth line, and they get back caught in their own zone. Caught with too many men on the ice. Had 6 guys out there. They still get scored on by Zabane there on the back door. One-timer going by Hyder.
So it is a quick 2-0 lead for the Ghost Pirates. Just 3:26 into the game. And there's a turnover off the ensuing draw. Left side shot by Walsh. Goes to the slot. Ends up going off a stick and away from danger. Gladiators pump it through center. Cipollone beats out the icing. Good work there from 71 in black. The Ghost Pirates are able to strip it away and meander back out to the neutral zone. Stretch pass away from the intended target that was intended to go to Walsh. Ends up going down as an icing. And Andrew, this is something that we have not seen yet this season, an early 2-0 deficit against the Gladiators.
Yeah, the Gladiators rarely even give up 2 goals in a game. Coming into this game, only giving up 1.96 goals against per game for first in the league. This is just, we haven't seen this from this Gladiators team at all this season so far.
2 goals on 4 shots for the Ghost Pirates. Latest one coming 3:26 into the game from Zabane. As a shot from the right point by Mateer is blocked. Same men that factored in on the first goal with the assists. Coming in on the second, Tellier and Hughes for Savannah. Long-range shot snapped up by Cormier. He'll freeze 4 minutes into this one. Face-off to his right, near circle face-off, and it is the first line for the Gladiators out there. Sylvester, Nolan, and Young to take the face-off. Young will win it to the captain. Nychuk on the left wing, takes a shot, save Cormier. Pins it up against his chest and freezes for another whistle 6 seconds after the previous one.
Yeah, good idea there by Nychuk. Had some space coming down the wall. Just putting a puck on net. You know, you're down too early in this game. You just got to start putting pucks on net, see what happens.
Nychuk at the line, takes a shot off the stick of a Ghost Pirate and away from danger. That was Reese Vitelli, the former Gladiator, getting a stick on it. They'll feed it into the middle for him. Drifting down the right wing, stood up by Nychuk. Good defensive play. Mateer collects it in the near corner. Tries to feather it out of the zone. Ghost Pirates make it difficult to do so as Young tries to sidestep 2 in the near corner. Ends up having to dig it a little bit deeper to Mateer. from that corner, pestered again by Lapina. Mateer able to shrug it back to Young, who will rainbow it out to center. And Atlanta will go off for a line change. Vitelli back in on the right wing, feeds it to Lapina, drives it off the corner wall, and the backside of the net. Conroy there to grab it. Finds Mateer left wing, moving upwards is Francis. Has his pocket picked by Drevich, able to get it over to Burns. In on the left side, Scardina takes a shot, blocked in front, and his stick broke. And the Ghost Pirates create a 2-on-1 up ice. Cross-ice feed, back to Brodzinski, and he just missed backdoor. Almost made it 3-0. Stretch pass off the boards, no icing. Francis gets there, goes around the net on his backhand, feeds it from low to high. Jarvis takes it in, rips a shot, well wide of the mark. Orzek keeps it alive on the left wing. Plays it behind the net to Burns. Gets pinned up there. Play it back up top. Jarvis slams it to Burns in the trapezoid. Tries to escape the pressure. Plays it to the line for a shot. Bounces off the ice wide of Cormier. And the Gladiators will peel back and get a line change in. 14-12 left in the first period. Savannah looking to start their next breakout. Behind the net is Rydell, who had the first goal in tonight's game. Stretches it to Tellier. Yoder tries to rip it away. Ends up coming back to Rydell. And on the left wing, softly taps it ahead for Zabanet. Here he goes to the right wing for Hughes. Takes a shot. Hyder sticks it away. Rebound behind the cage. Zabanet has it. Feeds it to Hughes. Pulling up to the line. Drive there. Blocked in front. Long-range shot by Carroll. Did not play last night. Ends up getting chucked back out to the neutral zone. 13:30 left in the first. Hughes from the right corner. Scans the ice. Goes around the net. Morgan pestering. Backhand feed. Makes its way to the line. Ewert a shot, blocked by Carabia, picked it off and sent it the length of the ice. Should be another icing on the Gladiators, and it will be with 13:10 to go in the first. And Andrew, for the Gladiators, 2-0 deficit, and things aren't looking much better over the last few shifts.
No, it's just been sloppy from the start here. Decent zone time on that last shift there by the Francis line, but still giving up pretty decent opportunities to Savannah. They got to clean it up in all facets of the game right now.
Face off to the right of Hyder, won by the Ghost Pirates. Ewert with space, fires and scores. 3-0 Savannah. 6:55 into the first.
Yep, just a set face-off play by the Ghost Pirates there. Puck gets over to Heward at the right point. Had a great look on goal, and he goes shelf to give Savannah a 3-0 lead before our first TV timeout.
Gladiators are in a position that they have not been in very often so far this season. 3-goal hole. And the first period is still very much young. O'Brien will resume play with a face-off against Walsh. The Ghost Pirate the victor. And they'll slide it down to Hyder. The Ghost Pirates off to a great start. Heward's got his first of the year. 6:55 in from Granowitz and Koopman to make it a 3-0 Ghost Pirate lead. And they come right back in on the left side. Koopman shoots off the side of the net. Rebound comes to Walsh, tries to sneak it in. Hyder is there to make the stop. 12:37 left in the first, and we will go to our first timeouts. Ghost Pirates 3, Gladiators 0. We're back after this.
This holiday season, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your holiday needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Desserts are popping up on promotion. Cookies, all types of dessert.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
back here at Gas South Arena. Ghost Pirates lead 3-0. The latest from Colton Heward, who here tonight is playing in his second game as a Ghost Pirate this season. Was assigned to Savannah by Charlotte, their AHL affiliate. Had an assist yesterday in his first game of the year, and now here today as his first goal. And that has made it a 3-0 Ghost Pirate lead. Back to business are the Ghost Pirates behind the net, trying to escape. Was Lapina, gets checked off of it by Nychuk. Board battle with Pearson ensues on the near boards. Savannah wins that, but Atlanta gets in front of a puck, slams it out to the neutral zone. Denemy can't reel it in. Ends up spinning to Mateer, chucks it to the blue line, and the puck is still contested in the neutral zone. Now finally, Savannah comes in on the right side. Spinning play from Vitelli. Locates Davies, centering feed off a stick to Vitelli. Cycling at the left point, tries to drop it down low, picked up by Nolan. Stretch pass to Sylvester on the right wing, stops at the circle, looking for some help. Tries to drop it down deeper, but puck goes into the air. Is snatched by Conroy. Keeps the play alive by pinching in. Now send it to the end wall. Young is there. Clanks it around the boards to the left wing for Orzek. Drifting right, feeding that way. Has Conroy. Now Sylvester. He'll shoot off a stick and wide. The rebound tried to be stuffed in by Conroy, but hits the side of the net. Now at the line, Sylvester feeds it left wing for Orzek. Looking, has Young at the top of the circle. He'll drive it down deeper to Nolan. Kicks it over to the right corner. Sylvester is there along with Conroy. At the line, Orzek reels it in, holds and shoots. Deflection in front, but Cormier's got it. Clock stops 10:59 into the first, and Andrew, that shift there was the best shift the Gladiators have played so far tonight.
Yeah, that's a great shift from this top line here coming out of that TV timeout. You got to assume Coach Ginn had some choice words for the boys there during that TV timeout, and they came out with a really good response there. That Sylvester Young Nolan line. Love what I saw from them there on that first shift back.
So face-off on the far circle. The Scardina, Francis, and Burns line comes out. Scardina will take this face-off up against Ryan Sullivan, and Sullivan will win it. Back to the trapezoid they go. Feed it right wing. Carroll to Brodzinski. And Francis will intercept. Quickly finds Orzek. Up ice they go. Ghost Pirates have it in their own territory. Carroll looking up ice. Pump fake behind the net. And he'll wait a moment. Now he finds Heward. Over center circle he goes. Has a man right wing, it's Drevich. Toe drag to the goal, centering feed. Hyder with a stop, point blank on Brodzinski. Now it's Drevich again, going behind the net. Moves to his forehand, tries to sneak it into Sullivan. And Hyder able to sprawl out and make his biggest stop of the night. With 10:18 left in the first.
Yeah, a couple big saves by Hyder there. If the Gladiators make this one close, remember those saves. Those are some big saves by Hyder there to keep this one at 3.
And it's interesting, Andrew, the last two times we saw the Ghost Pirates, Logan Drevich wasn't really looking like himself. Had a bit of a tough start to the season for his standards, but since then he's really kind of come alive as of late. Drevich this season, 4 goals, 13 assists for 17 points in 29 games. He is the Ghost Pirates' all-time leading scorer. And on that last shift, certainly looked very much the part.
Yeah.
Here's Cipollone on the right wing, takes a shot from the circle, rebound to O'Brien. Oh, and it stayed out. Initial save was made by Cormier. The second hit iron. And now O'Brien on the right wing tries to keep the play alive. But Ghost Pirates able to squash it back out to center, and that play will come to an end. 9:50 left in the first. Savannah looking to start its next breakout. Pearson has a man left wing. Tellier up ice, wanted Zabane. Ends up being just a tad offline, and so Nychuk will retrieve behind Hyder. Not without a little bit of pressure from Zabane, as he forces Nychuk into icing the puck there with 9:28 to go in the opening frame.
Again, another good shift by that O'Brien line, generating some good opportunities. If you're the Gladiators, you just got to keep plugging away at this. Got to act like this score is 0-0 right now. Get back to your game, get back to your structure, and start chipping away at this lead.
So what we are seeing so far here tonight is something that really hasn't happened all season long. 3-0 deficit for the Gladiators early in this one. Atlanta, when trailing first, is 4-4. Savannah, when scoring first, is 9-4, 1-1. So a lot of time left. This one definitely not over, but the Gladiators definitely need to get the next one. As Walsh on the left wing steers it to Koopman behind the net on his forehand, has it knifed away by Jarvis. Koopman trying to stick with it, but Sylvester is there to forcefully rip it away. And Atlanta has possession. Conroy, I think that Jarvis, has a man up in the neutral zone. Young wires it wide of the goal. Now Savannah has a man in the neutral zone. Granowitz keeps it moving along to the right wing. Conroy snatches that as well, spins it around to the far wall. Ghost Pirates get in front of it. Making things happen on the forecheck was Reese Vitelli. Cross ice they go to Heward. At the line, tried to center to the high slot, ends up going in and out the other side. They dig deeper to the near corner. Players get pinned up there. Lapina working against Francis. Puck leaks over to Matier at the goal line, tries to squish it out of the zone. Ghost Pirates get a tap on it for a shot that's blocked by Matier. That taken by Josh Davies. He'll drop it below the goal line as they continue to cycle to the right wing. Heward feeds it inside. Back to the line for a shot by Davies. Hiver with the save, able to punch it away. As men were lurking in front. Centering feed off a stick. Hyder the save. With 7:54 left in the first. Savannah still leads 3-0 here in this one. We are back to Gas South Arena after this. Savannah leads 3-0 in the latest installment of the Battle of Georgia. Looking for another. Put a shot on goal for a kick save by the left pad of Hyder. Atlanta able to force it back out to center. The Ghost Pirates not backing down. They'll drive it back in. Around it goes to the near corner. Nychuk is there, being pressured by Sullivan. Out of the pile-up is Matier. Tries to lift it out of the zone. Hits the shoulder of Drevich, but does make its way to Yoder, who slips it wide left of Cormier. First man on it is Carroll, the defenseman for Savannah. They'll send it to the neutral zone. Orzek gets a stick on it. Drevich hounding him as he's forced to peel back. Orzek finds O'Brien, the two former Heartlanders who came over in the same trade, move stride for stride as they'll lift it down to Cormier. Savannah quickly able to cycle out of their own end. Has Brodzinski on the move. Feeds it left wing for Tellier. With the jump in his step, turns on a dime. Climbs back up the wall, plays it to a trailer. Hughes feeds right for Pearson. He'll delay, go behind the net. Pearson with 2 assists on Thursday against Orlando. Plays it to the line, and it's batted out of the zone by Cipollone. And Savannah forced to peel back and retreat due to a delayed offside. Good active stick there from Joey Cipollone, and now a turnover on the right wing. Hughes tried to go back in. Another delayed offside thwarted that plan. As now Conroy locates Jarvis, and up to the neutral zone they go. O'Brien slaps it to the near corner wall. Pearson first man on it. Savannah will possess as Savannah looks for a breakout pass and has Walsh on the right wing. Savannah takes in the return feed, now goes left side. Stretch pass intercepted by Sylvester at center circle. Tries to charge ahead with 6 minutes left in the period. Ends up getting stood up on that sequence, and so back to Savannah it goes. His breakout pass hits a stick and comes to Jarvis. Looking up ice. The alternate captain for the Gladiators. Waxing off the stick of Sylvester and in. Clearing attempt off the corner wall. Comes to Young. And his shot goes wide of Cormier. Looked like Cormier just trying to rim it around the boards like any usual play that would be done. Ends up hitting the boards awkwardly. Came right to Young, but wasn't able to score.
Yeah, Gladiators almost had the home field advantage there working for him. Young just not able to finish that one.
Instead, it's Savannah going back the other way, still with their 3-0 lead. 5:17 left in the first. Young gets in front of a tic-tac pass, and so from center ice, Carroll will wire it in. Hyder slows it down from the trapezoid, plays it to his far wall to Francis. Ends up losing that battle. Cross-ice feed away from Heward. Those Pirates keep the shift alive. Vitelli from the far wall. Cycles to the blue line, turns and shoots. Deflection in front. Bottled up in front of the net was Koopman by Nychuk. And Atlanta will possess. Mateer. Stationed behind Hyder. Looks for an avenue to break out. Ons is the Burns, Scardina, and Morgan line as Nychuk flies down the left wing. Nychuk to Morgan. Backhand shot. Stopped by Cormier. As Nychuk had his stick lifted out of his hands. Goes back to the bench to get a new one. That will just go to the bench altogether. Gladiators back on the attack. Conroy on the left wing pinching, keeps the play alive. Tries to find Yoder in deep. Ends up going the Ghost Pirates' way. Breakout 3-on-3 up ice. Shot by Vitelli, sticked away by Hyder. Puck will go behind him to Riley Appelt. A breakout to Yoder. On the move. Couldn't haul in the pass on the left wing. Savannah's got puck possession back, and they lead the shot count 12-6, and it really feels like Savannah has won the battle of possession so far here in the first period. Still time for the Gladiators to get a couple of good shifts in and maybe a goal before the period's end.
Yeah, the Ghost Pirates just came out flying in this first period.
Here they come again. Savannah along the right wing. Tries to chip it towards the goal. Moving there was Brodzinski, but ends up going to Hyder. Put a hand on it. 3:28 left in the first. Ghost Pirates with the lead at 3-zip. We're back after this.
This holiday season, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your holiday needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Desserts are popping up on Crumbles Man Cookies. All types of desserts.
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
Desserts now in rotation.
For those of you just joining us, yes, that score is correct. Savannah leads 3-0. Goals in the opening 6:55. First from Rydell, 25 seconds in. Then Zabanet gets in on it, 3:26 in. And then Colton Heward, 6:55 in, made it 3-0 Savannah. As it has been a flat first period for the Gladiators, but still time to change that with 3:16 and counting left in the first. And it is worth noting that for the Gladiators, if they win here today, it would be the largest comeback of the season, as a shot by Hughes goes in and out of the slot and out the other side. Puck will hit the stick of O'Brien and go out of play on a stretch pass. 2:56 into the first, and we do get a stoppage. So, Andrew, for the Gladiators, this is going to be, if they're able to come back, their biggest comeback of the season, and feels like this is the most adversity that they faced early on in the game so far this year. I'm curious to see how they react to this and move on from it as they do attempt to come back here tonight.
Yeah, as you said it, I was just going to say, most adversity that this team has seen all year. You know, it's kind of a gut check for this team, see what they can do with the rest of this game.
Those Pirates work it into the end wall. Puck bounces out in front, picked off by Young, has his pocket picked by Walsh. Granowitz in the area as well, but Young slammed him off of it, along with Mateer. Gladiators move up ice. Nychuk on the left wing, tries to get something going. Puck boomerangs back to the neutral zone as Sylvester handles. 2:25 left in the opening period. Mateer chucks it to the neutral zone away from Nolan, and that is an icing on Atlanta with 2:20 to go. And it does seem, Andrew, that in this game, really nothing has gone right for the Gladiators. And, you know, on the flip side, Savannah came out and they came to play. You got to give a lot of credit to their coaching staff. Jared Stahl, their head coach, assistant coach Brendan Kotick, they knew exactly what they wanted to do here to start, and they executed it. It almost felt like that first goal that was scored by Rydell. And a lot of times in football, you see a couple of scripted plays on an opening drive. It really felt like on that first goal, that's exactly what Savannah did. They knew what they wanted to do, and they executed it.
Yeah, they scored off of what seemed to be two face-off goals, or two face-off plays on that third goal by Heward as well.
Goes Pirates by 3. Koopman make that Nas, wires it in. Right side shot through the slot and out. Back to Nas on the left point. So it goes across to Pearson. Takes a shot and... oh, it hit the post and stayed out. Hyder got a piece of it, hit iron, and did not go in. I think Davies was working backdoor trying to slam that in on the rebound. Pearson from the right point. Has Lapina. Shot partially blocked by Scardina, goes wide. And now Francis has it behind Hyder. Working against Vitelli. Gets some help from Carabia. The defenseman tries to slam it out, but it's held in by Sullivan. On the far wall, exchanges with Davies. Tries to play it across, and a nice active stick by Francis. Breaks it up and sends it down to the neutral zone. 1:12 left in the first period. Coming up after this, the first intermission report. Andrew will be joined by Shelby, and they will break down the first period, look ahead to the second. And there is a lot to talk about this one. Ronzinski tries to outlet to Sullivan, hits the stick and goes to the far wall. They do dig a little bit deeper. Conroy takes a check from Drevich as he disposes of it to the left wing to Denemy. They'll float it to the line. Oh, what a grab by Savannah to leap up and got a glove on it to keep it alive, but Atlanta able to punch it into Savannah territory with 33 seconds left. Rodzinski goes across. Drevich handles. And the Ghost Pirates up by 3 are probably content to take this into the locker room, but they do stretch it up. Rodzinski for a trailer. Zabanet tries to cut in front. Nychuk got a stick on it at the last moment. He'll make his way to the line, working with Heward. They borrow it to the end wall. Nychuk is there. 10 seconds to go. Looking up ice. Feathers it ahead for Cipollone. Joey Cipollone dangling for a chance. Stick save made by Cormier. And the first period will come to a close. And for the Gladiators, that is probably for the better. A first period to forget for Atlanta. 3 quick ones in the first 7 minutes of the game by Savannah. Has them up by 3. First 25 seconds in, it was Will Rydell. Then almost 3 minutes later, 3:21 to be exact. Make that 3:01 to be exact. Zabanet scores to make it a 2-0 game, and then Colton Heward, 6:55 in, makes it 3-zip Savannah, and that is where we sit. Coming up next here from Gas South Arena, it is the first intermission report with Andrew and Shelby. They'll break it all down, recap the first period, look ahead to the second. We'll talk some shop here on a Friday night. Get your thoughts here as well. Comment your thoughts on tonight's game in the YouTube live chat here on Military Night, and we'll get to that in our chat check. All that coming up on the other side of the break. Ghost Pirates 3, Gladiators nothing. We're back after a word from our local sponsors.
everyone. Welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be breaking down everything that happened in that first period. First, let's check in with our scores. Savannah Ghost Pirates with 3 with 14 shots on goal. Atlanta Gladiators 0 with 7 shots on goal. So not a great start here for the Atlanta Gladiators. The Savannah Ghost Pirates came out fast and strong. So let's break down that first period, Andrew. You want to talk about the first goal, or you want to start with what you were seeing so far?
Yeah, it's really hard to critique this Gladiators team just because they've had such a great start to the season, coming in 21-6-0. That's just an immaculate record for this team so far.
We haven't seen them play like this before.
No, but that was the worst period that I've seen the Gladiators play so far this season, especially at home, Coming in, only 2 losses at home so far this season, 12-2 at home. They come into that first period there, and it's the worst period I've seen them play at home all year.
Yeah, because even Guy had stats here on the notes he gives us that they've won here 12-2 here in Gas South Arena, and it's 0.857% winning here at home.
Yeah. Usually they come in, they're lights out at home, but they certainly were not in that first period.
What were you seeing from them that wasn't clicking?
It was just, obviously they gave up 3 goals, so it was just kind of a complete breakdown of their defensive coverage. As I said earlier in the period, the Gladiators came in not even allowing 2 goals a game, only allowing 1.96 goals against per game, which is the best number in the league. And they came in and let up 3 goals in that first period. It was just a complete breakdown in defensive zone coverage. They were leaving guys open. They weren't clearing out bodies in front. It was just plain out bad by the Gladiators in that first period.
Yes, and just playing very sloppy, which is very unfortunate seeing it here since we haven't seen something like this so far. Do you want to break down those 3 goals that Savannah has gotten so far?
Sure, let's do it. That first one, less than a minute into the game.
25 seconds.
Yeah. Gets up top to Will Rydell from the point. He just whips a slap shot from the point. Hyder didn't see it all the way. He got a screen out in front, and that one just got by Hyder. You can't blame Hyder on that one. He had a screen out in front of him, couldn't see the puck coming, and it's just a perfect seeing eye shot from Rydell to the point, giving the Ghost Pirates that very early lead, 25 seconds into the first period. Yeah, it was a tough start. And the second one there, I believe it was Savannah who ended up scoring there. Gladiators got caught with too many men on the ice.
I noticed that. I didn't even realize they scored at first because I was looking over at you and Guy because I was like, does anyone else see the 6 men on the ice right now, or is it just me?
Yeah, what I originally saw, I saw the Savannah bench just screaming, arms up in the air, trying to signal to the referee.
I kept double counting too. I was like, wait a second, something's off here.
Yeah, so the Gladiators cut out there even with 6 guys in their zone. Puck ends up on the stick of Savannah back door, and he buries it to give Savannah the 2-0 lead. And the third one, it was just a set face-off play, a great face-off play by the Ghost Pirates. Cycle off the face-off. Puck gets over to Heward, uncovered on the right point. He has room to walk in. He just rips one high blocker bar down on Hyder. And Savannah took their 3-0 lead before we went to our first TV timeout.
Yeah, and Matt Ginn does the keys to the game every single game, and one of them was limit their speed. And I definitely noticed Savannah, not even just at the start of the period, they were playing a very fast game throughout, and even it seemed they got some more momentum towards the end of the period there.
Yeah, and that's Savannah's game. They're a team that comes out, they play with speed, and that's how they beat you, is with their speed. And that's exactly what they did to the Gladiators in that first period. The Gladiators did not do a very good job of limiting Savannah's speed. I could count probably more than I can think of times that I saw Drevich just flying. Drevich and Savannah were so noticeable for the Ghost Pirates in that first period. Those 2 guys in particular were just flying all over the ice, and they were giving the Gladiators fits in their own zone.
Did you see anything of note that the Gladiators did that you believe will help them win this game or take this game back from the Savannah Ghost Pirates?
So we saw it that first shift after the first TV timeout, after they were able to go back to the bench during the TV timeout, talk to Coach Ginn a little bit, him give the boys probably a piece of his mind. But that first shift after that TV timeout, The line of Young, Sylvester, and Nolan came out, and they had a really good shift. That's just what the Gladiators need to do. They need to start stringing together good shifts. Because right after that shift, they went back and they got pinned in their own zone. So you can't be streaky. You have to be consistent and start stringing together some good positive shifts, generating some ozone time, getting more pucks on net, and you just got to keep chipping away at this 3-0 deficit and see what happens.
Would you say that is the line you're going to be looking out for the rest of this game?
Yeah, that line, you'd like to see Sylvester get going. We mentioned it last week, obviously losing his 2 line mates in Boudon and Walter, but that was a couple weeks ago. So he's had some time to play.
And they definitely played last week a very good game with his new line as well.
Yeah, so I'd love to see that line get going, get on the score sheet here. And that second line with Denemy, O'Brien, and Cipollone, we've seen O'Brien's been awesome for this team so far. He was awesome in Iowa. That's why he's representing them in the All-Star game next weekend. So, but it's got to come from everybody. Yep. Everybody's got to chip in. When you're down 3-0, you can't rely on one line to go out there and score you 3 goals. You got to rely on everybody to help chip in and try and get this one back.
So I want to say my question of the night, or this intermission report, is who do you think's going to score that first goal? And let us know who you think's going to score the first goal in the chat as well. And we will talk about that when we come back from the break. Right now it is Savannah Ghost Pirates 3 and Atlanta Gladiators 0.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to talk more about what we want to see coming up from the Gladiators. First, our score, Savannah Ghost Pirates 3 and Atlanta Gladiators 0. So I want to throw this out into the chat. Who do you think is going to score first for the Atlanta Gladiators? We're going to talk about it, but first we're going to talk about, on a brighter side for the Atlanta Gladiators, we're going to talk about the All-Star game. We have 3 representatives going into the All-Star. We have TJ Simptonfelter, one of our goaltenders, Jack O'Brien, forward for us, traded here from Iowa, Heartlanders here to Atlanta recently, and Coach Matt Ginn are all going to represent the Atlanta Gladiators this year in the All-Star game. So let's talk about that, Andrew.
Yeah, it's just a real testament to the way that the Gladiators have played so far this season. Obviously, second in the division. They've just been absolute lights out this year, besides that first year.
Besides this first
we won't talk about that. But, Yeah, you just got to feel happy for those guys. Obviously, Septemfelter not getting the start tonight. I assume he'll get the start tomorrow in Savannah, but he's just been absolutely dynamite for the Gladiators this year. He's been a brick wall for him. It's just a great thing to have when you have a goaltender who can go out there and steal a game for you. Septemfelter's just been absolutely lights out for the Gladiators. And Jack O'Brien, technically he's representing Iowa as their representative in the All-Star game, but we'll take him for us. We traded for him. He's ours now. He's a Gladiator now, so we'll say he's representing the Glads.
I did get to talk to him yesterday after practice, and I asked him all about playing here in front of the fans for the very first time last Saturday, and he said this is the loudest crowd that he's seen since he was a kid.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really something special. And he also said he's super excited, and he did thank his teammates in Iowa for getting him the position at the All-Star game this year.
Yeah, just a testament to the fans. I think I heard we got 6,000 in here tonight. I think last weekend we had about 8,000.
Yes,
and I said
racking up the numbers.
Yeah, I said it earlier tonight. It's just these fans have been awesome for this team this year, and I think it's a big reason for this team's success at home.
Yeah, it definitely gives obviously not personally, but I think that having such a loud crowd, an enthusiastic crowd, it really helps improve gameplay and helps that momentum.
Oh yeah, it makes you look forward to playing at home, and you got a whole crowd behind you that's going to be rooting you on. It's a huge boost, and fans can change momentum in a game. It's just absolutely huge the way that this crowd has played for this Gladiators team so far this season.
And also Coach McGinn. This is his first year as a coach, and he's already going to the All-Star game.
Yeah, first year head coach for Matt Ginn. And I mean, he's been the reason for this Gladiators turnaround. Obviously missing the playoffs last couple seasons, and he's coming this year, installed the way he wants them to play, and he's got them fighting for first in their division this season. It's just been awesome to watch him come in here and be able to guide this team to their best start in a long, long time.
Now, if you were coach, what would you be saying in the locker room right now, and what you want to see coming out in a second period here?
I'm not sure I can repeat some of the words that Coach Ginn's probably saying to the boys right now, but you just got to. You just got to come out and get back to your structure. We've seen this team play absolutely lights out all season. You got to get back to that, and it starts in your own zone. You got to play well in front of your goaltender. You got to start by defending well. You can't let this get worse than it is right now. You can't let them get the 4. So you got to start in your own zone. Get back to your structure. We've seen this Gladiators team play with such good defensive structure all season. Obviously, I probably sound like a broken record right now, but coming in, allowing the least amount of goals per game so far in the league this season. So it starts in your own zone. You got to defend well. Then you got to be able to get through the neutral zone and enter the offensive zone with possession of the puck. That's going to be huge for this team if they can get into the zone with possession, not having to play chip and chase, because it's hard to play a chip and chase game when you're down 3 goals. You want to be able to enter their zone with possession and attack from there. So it starts in your own zone, and then we can worry about trying to get on the board.
And we've talked about it so far earlier in this intermission about how fast of a game the Savannah Ghost Pirates play. What can our team do to limit that speed?
You got to hit them. You got to try and get bodies on these guys and force them to not play their game. You got to stand them up at your blue line, force them to chip the puck in, and play from there. Because right now they're just allowing Savannah to have way too much puck possession, and they're absolutely killing them with their speed. As I said, guys like Drevich and Savannah have been all over the ice tonight with the puck on their stick. So you got to force them to not have the puck on their stick.
Right. And hopefully they come back, playing that game, that Atlanta's Gladiators game that we know and we love. But who do you think is going to be that first goal scorer for the night? Or do you want to let the chat speak for you?
Well, let's see what we got in the chat here. Yeah. J97167. Any goal welcome. I'm with you, but let's say Alex Young. Yep, our first line center tonight. Alex Young playing with Sylvester and Nolan. I think that's a very good pick. Let's see. We got Oh, we got 2 votes for Peter Morgan for both Joe Mama and Stadium
Okay.
Arena.
His
Going
second,
with Peter Morgan,
his second of the professional hockey.
Yeah. I'd love to see Peter Morgan get on the board. You know, he's a smaller guy, but he plays with a lot of pace, and he's just such a hard worker. You see him working his butt off trying to fight back for pucks in the corner. So I'd love to see him get on the board, but I'm gonna go with. Let's go with the All-Star.
Oh.
Jack O'Brien. You know, he's came in. We've talked about it tonight. We talked about it a little bit last week. You know, he's really kind of filled that void that Louis Boudon has left after signing over to go play in Finland. And Jack O'Brien's come in, and he's kind of been that guy, you know, that plug-in second line, or top 6, I'll say, because he plays pretty much everywhere. But top 6 center, 2-way, plays well in his own zone, plays well offensively. He's just kind of been that guy so far in his Gladiators tenure, and I think he'll get on the board here, hopefully.
So 3 goals in the 3 games that he's played.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go with Joey Cipollone.
All right.
I feel like he had a great start to the season. I remember him leading in points for the team at a certain point in time, and we haven't seen him get any goals recently and get his name on there on that score sheet.
Yeah, he had a really good chance at the end of that first period there. Made a nice move to get to his forehand, and Cormier just made a great save with his stick. So Cipollone seems to have it going tonight. Let's see if he can continue it and get on the board.
Well, hopefully we see a score for the Gladiators in this second period. When we come back, I will be back doing the play-by-play alongside Andrew. Again, Savannah Ghost Pirates 3, Gladiators 0, and we will see you on the other side of the break.
Back and ready for business for the start of the second period here at Gas South Arena on Military Night. Savannah shocking the Gladiators with a 3-0 lead after 1. Ghost Pirates 3 goals on 14 shots. Atlanta takes 7 in the first period. Ethan Hyder still in goal for the Gladiators here today. Not all those necessarily his fault. Really has been a flat effort for Atlanta so far here today. And it is the first time that the Gladiators have given up 3 goals in the first period this season. So very much a shocker to not just the Gladiators, but their fans as well, as this building has been a fortress for Atlanta so far this season. 12-2 in this building this year. But, you know, thinking on the up and up as Atlanta tries to mount this comeback. Savannah has allowed 29 goals in the second period this season. This is their 30th game of the year, the Ghost Pirates. So with the prior 29 goals against in the second period, that is the most out of any period this season. So we'll see if Atlanta able to come out with a better effort here in the second, wearing their black alternate jerseys with white numbers and blue trim will skate from left to right. Ghost Pirates wearing white jerseys with black numbers and Ghost Pirate green trim will skate from right to left. As the puck is dropped, and we are back to live action. Jarvis with it, off the face-off, gets to the red line, bangs it from corner to corner to the right wing for Cipollone, crashing in. Cipollone out there with Denemy and O'Brien, and it'll be interesting to see, Andrew, if Matkin looks to change up some personnel here today as they try and get the next goal in this game.
Yeah, you know, you just got to try everything right now to try to get back in this one.
Shot by Carabia, looking for a tip from O'Brien. Does get it, but goes away from the goal mouth. Now Savannah behind the net, stretches to the neutral zone off the backside of the skate of Tellier, and right to Matier. Slots it to the line. O'Brien casts it in, slowing it down as Cormier. Cipolone as Sylvester, fresh off the bench. The captain can't get anything going, gets bodied off the puck. Ghost Pirates twisted out to center, and Matier will retrieve. Has Sylvester on the Ghost Pirate blue line, drop past to Young, cross ice feed, and the one-timer by Nolan goes wide of the mark.
I think that went through Cormier's 5-hole and out the other side of the net. An unlucky break for Nolan there.
Sylvester from the left wing tries to get something going again offensively. From the left circle, whacks it to the line. Nychuk dancing, gets around the pressure from Granowitz. Nychuk around the goal, pops out on the near side, goes cross ice, has Alex Young. Can't quite reel it in, a bit off balance. Skates away from Granowitz and leaves it for Nychuk. Spears it to the goal line. Nolan quickly back to Nychuk, centers for Young. On the doorstep, Nolan! And Cormier makes the stop, and they'll punch at the length of the ice. Icing on Savannah. 1:45 into the second.
That's the exact start you wanted to see from the Gladiators here to open up the second period. I know they didn't score, but that was the best minute and 45 seconds that they've played consecutively all night so far.
Much, much better for the Gladiators. Speaking of Evan Cormier, last time he played in the game, stopped 31 of 31 against Trois-Rivières up in Quebec on the 3rd of the month. The 4-0 Ghost Pirate victory, so it's now been 4 periods, no goals against for Cormier. Gladiators will look to break that streak here as Orzek scrambles down the right wing wall from the corner, tries to jolt it to the opposite side. Has Francis in that area. Francis, high slot shot off a stick and wide. Rebound comes to Burns, gets checked off of it, but not before he finds Orzek at the line. Orzek, miscommunication, tried to find Francis. Francis didn't know where it was, and so the Ghost Pirates able to scurry upwards and drop it into Gladiator territory. Fresh off the bench, Eward working with Vitelli and company, trying to get something going, but the Gladiators break it up on the right wing. Burns takes a stab at it away from Carroll. Savannah with it again. Vitelli hammers it in, icing on the Ghost Pirates. Looked like he tried to just fire it in and hopefully was banking on Davies winning that race, but he did not. And so back down will go near Cormier.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Looking for kind of that home run pass there up to Davies off the end wall there. But a good job getting back there by the Gladiators and getting that icing.
So the face-off will be to the right of Cormier. Appelt will take this. Going up against Vitelli. Vitelli, the former Gladiator, played here from 2022 to 24, has 77 points in 97 games. He is currently under contract with the AHL's Manitoba Moose. As the Ghost Pirates able to wrestle it out to center. On the move is Davies. Gets his way to the left circle. Tries to find a trailer. Didn't have one. Puck comes out to the neutral zone, and now Nas will toss it to the right wing for Vitelli. Ghost Pirates knock it into Gladiator territory. First man on it is Lapina. Knifes it to Drevich. Centers off the stick of Vitelli. Keeping it alive is Nas. Has a man in the left corner. Lapina to the line. They don't shoot. Feed it back to Lapina. One-timer screeches wide of Hyder and stays in play. They'll continue to work it around. Vitelli slammed up into the corner wall by Carabia on the near side. Puck is whacked up to the near half wall. Morgan stationed there. Locates Jarvis behind Hyder. Leaks out to the left wing. Pumps it to the blue line. Looking for Yoder. Off a stick it goes to Appelt at center circle. They'll stab it down near Cormier, who comes out to play it. Left wing breakout. Drevich takes it in and turns it over to Matier. Matier shoots Brodzinski out of his skates as Denemy moving up ice, and the drop pass goes astray. Comes to Brodzinski. Right side shot. Defended well by Matier. Deflection goes over into the near wall. Digging it out are the Ghost Pirates. Rydell at the left point. Has a man at the goal line. Gladiators are able to wrestle that away, and now they move up potential 3-on-2. Nychuk right wing, centers for O'Brien. Off balance, puck goes off his stick into the open arms of Cormier. He will freeze. 4:29 into the second.
Now this is looking more like Gladiators team we've been used to seeing at home this season. Great opening to this second period, much better than that first period.
And so the question here, Andrew, is a lot of time left in this game. 45 minutes, 31 seconds, but down by 3. The magic number for the Gladiators this season seems to be score 3 and you win. Well, tonight they're going to need 4 or more. Do you think that they have it in them to overcome the 3-goal deficit despite a scoreless first?
Yeah, we'll find out. It's going to be interesting here. 3-0 lead, worst lead in hockey.
Ghost Pirate is without his stick. That's Savannah as a shot goes into the gullet of Cormier. Then another stoppage here. But for the Gladiators, it's more so been a defensive style of game that really culminates from what they've been able to do in goal. Good defensive structure, good goaltending, and then the offense kind of flows from there. But down by 3, are they able to get back into it and get into their offensive groove? And in that same vein, contain the Ghost Pirates defensively for the rest of the game to mount this comeback victory? We shall see.
Yeah, it's hard to make this comeback when you're used to leaning on your defensive structure once you get a lead. But now you're down 3. You got to kind of get going here. Try and get this one back within reach.
Keep an eye on the shot count. Ghost Pirates lead at 14-11. Gladiators had 7 shots on goal at the end of the first. They're slowly chipping away. Here's a breakout pass to Tellier. Drops it off. Looking for Zabanet. And the Gladiators are able to intercept. Miscue there for Savannah. Young dances towards the goal. And, oh, they can't punch it in. Zabanet will fly down the left wing. Zabanet inside backhand chance. Hyder makes the save. And this one has turned into a track meet over the last 30 seconds. Up ahead, Conroy can't reel in a pass. Ghost Pirates dump it in. So at one end of the ice, you had Tellier, who very much could have shot that puck and instead tried to drop it back for a trailer. Gladiators able to pick it off, and then Alex Young with a nifty move up ice. Almost created a scoring chance himself, and man waiting backdoor couldn't punch it in, and the Ghost Pirates cleaned up shop.
Yeah,
here they come again. Walsh centers. Quick chance by Koopman goes wide. Walsh drops it down deeper. Centering feed by Granowitz. Intercepted by Karabia. Lifted out to the neutral zone.
Yeah, it looked like that opportunity that Young set up. He hit Conroy on the back door, but the Ghost Pirates defenseman actually went down and blocked the shot to prevent a goal on that empty net.
Tough break for Atlanta, and there's been a few of them in this game. As a massive hit by Scardina levels Granowitz on the far boards. And that might be the momentum shaker that they need in this game. You bring the crowd and their team to life. Plans thwarted on the zone entry on the right wing. Here is Savannah, left wing shot by Davies. Save made, Hyder. Rebound comes to Scardina. Moving up ice with Francis. He'll turn the puck over on the entry. Now on the left wing it is Lapina. Pulling up, getting checked by Karabia. But not before he disposes of it to the trapezoid. Play getting physical here as Vitelli tries to snatch it on the far wall. Gladiators are able to get a body in front as the puck trickles to the end wall. Outlet pass to Yoder. Ends up boomeranging back deeper into Gladiator territory. Vitelli from the left wing plays it to the line. Nos tried to keep it in, but it did come out. And there'll be an an offside on Savannah with 12:52 left in the second. Gladiators trying to work their way back into this one, but it is still a 3-0 Ghost Pirate lead. We are back after this.
This holiday season, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your holiday needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Desserts are popping up on Crumbles, man.
Cookies, all types of
More than just cookies.
The lineup changing weekly.
Back to live action here at Gas South Arena. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. Ghost Pirates with a 3-0 lead, although Atlanta getting better shift by shift, trying to change that. Savannah shot from the line, it's a body. Rebound comes to Cipollone. Chucks it to the neutral zone in hopes of finding Denemy or O'Brien. That doesn't quite work out. Savannah able to intercept and chuck it deep into Gladiator territory. Nychuk from there tries to get it out. Has Denemy on the left wing. He'll go cross ice to O'Brien. O'Brien right down the middle, toe drag shot off the stick of Rydell and out of play with 12:15 to go in the second. And so as we approach the midway point of this game, Savannah with a 3-goal lead. Atlanta creeping closer in the shot count, though. 16-11 is the count in favor of the Ghost Pirates. And for the Gladiators, they haven't really become a high quantity shot-taking team this season. They very much so prefer quality over quantity. Face off to the right of Cormier. One by Cipollone. Tried to power towards the net, but ended up getting upended between the circles. Puck goes to the near wall. Cipollone from his knees tries to dig it free. Ghost Pirates able to speeder it into Gladiator territory. Centering feed broken up. And now O'Brien will drift out to center. Pass to the left wing off the stick of Denemy and out of play with 11:44 on the clock. And for the Gladiators, on will come the Young, Sylvester, and Nolan line. And interestingly enough, we wondered if we would start to see a change of personnel in this game, down by 3. So far, Matt Ginn sticking to the original lineup so far here tonight. Off the face-off, Conroy has it. Off the wall to Nolan. Quickly finds Young on the right wing. Moving upwards. Young moves to his forehand and shoots. Out in front is Sylvester. And he is thwarted by Cormier. Puck comes to the Gladiators zone. Young will handle. Locates Carabia on the move. He'll power through the neutral zone. Barreling down the left wing, Carabia off the wall to himself. And he will turn it over below the goal line to Nas.
Yeah, it was a good idea by Alex Young on that shift there, putting that one on net, looking for a rebound.
Koopman cross ice, out in front. Oh, what a stop by Hyder. Looked like he was down for the count. Got a glove on it as Granowitz took in the cross ice feed and tried to punch it in. Going from the right wing as his shot stopped by Cormier. Ghost Pirates dispose of it to the neutral zone. Atlanta will start its next breakout. Scardina on the right wing jumps into action from the right circle, fires. Save made Cormier. One on the second opportunity. And now Francis with it on the left wing. Centers for Burns. And he can't get a shot away. As poke checked by Nas at the last second. They'll cycle to the line. Francis toe drag shoots wide left of Cormier. And now the Ghost Pirates able to wrestle it out to center, and taking it in stride is Vitelli. Vitelli weaves into the high slot, falls down on his backside. Gladiators able to poke it away. 9:55 left in the second. Stretch pass on time for Lapina. Had a man moving upwards in Vitelli, but Mateer and O'Brien able to get the job done. Now Denemy on the left wing. Wants to slam it upwards in front of the Ghost Pirate bench. Ends up trickling over to Rydell. Got a swipe on it, but not much. As Mateer shuffles it into the Ghost Pirate zone, but Bit of a mistake there. Didn't gain the red line. It's an icing on the Gladiators with 9:30 left in the second.
Yeah, he's got no pressure on him there. He's got guys flying into the zone. You got to gain the red line there for that dumping and not get that icing there. It's just a tough one.
He's about a couple steps away from changing that from being an icing to just a casual dump in, but instead we will see a face-off to the left of Hyder, who has really settled into this game, Andrew, ever since the first 3 goals for Savannah in the opening 6:55. Hyder has looked better and better with every save he's made.
Yep.
And for the Gladiators, their momentum this season has been generated by their goaltending. And if there is a comeback win in the works, I believe it does start with Ethan Hyder. Gladiators lift it out to center. O'Brien jabs it deep to Cipolone. Looks over his shoulder, sees pressure from Rydell. Tries to cast it to the line, but the Ghost Pirates wedge it away. Rodzinski from the right wing has it poked off his stick by Conroy, but not before dumping it in. Make that Orzek with the play. Here is Conroy, dancing behind Hyder, able to juke out Tellier. And feed it up ahead to Young. Leaves it for Orzek. Pass inside to Denemy, hits his stick. Then will drive it in. Horme out to play it. Backhands it to Heward. Turns it over to Sylvester. The captain will go around the net. Has Young in the slot. Conroy make that Orzek lurking. Hit the post on the shot. And it stays out. Orzek drifting left. On his backhand. Feeds it to the slot, broken up, and we have our first penalty of the night. Tellier touches up, and this is going against Savannah. So the Gladiators, with a couple of good shifts there, will now get a chance on the Eco Electric power play when we come back. Down by 3. 8:15 left in the second. We are back after this. First power play of the night belongs to the Gladiators. Savannah in the box 2 for hooking. 8:15 left in the second period. Gladiators went 0 for 4 on the power play in their last game against Greensboro. And they hope to start this one from the deep end. Savannah gets an early clear. Ghost Pirate penalty kill, one of the best in the league, 87%. That's third in the league. Gladiator power play, 18.5%, 14th in the ECHL. And so here we go on the Eco Electric power play. Nychuk from the right corner, looks to center, hits a skate, comes back to him. Drops it off to Sylvester at the right point. He'll shoot and score! It's a power play goal for Atlanta. And they dig into the Ghost Pirate lead. The deficit is now 2.
It's a great shot by Sylvester there. Nice little interchange there between him and Nychuk out high. Finds Sylvester, walks it in to about the dot, rips one. Low on Cormier to dig into this lead.
That is a heck of a shot from Cody Sylvester, and he's done that one a time or two. For Sylvester, that is his 7th goal of the year and his 164th ECHL goal. So he definitely knows how to pick his spot and rip it into the back of the net. Power play goal for the Gladiators. Sylvester's 3rd PPG of the year. Gets Atlanta on the board and makes it a 2-goal game. And they score 29 seconds into the man advantage. Atlanta digging deeper. Burns from the end wall has Francis. into open area. Finds Matier at the line. Takes the shot. Deflected wide of Cormier. Francis leaves it for Burns in the far corner. Quickly out of the pile up. Tried to get it to the line, but Nychuk couldn't keep it in. Has to scramble back to retrieve the puck. 6:55 left in the second.
Yeah, it was the right idea by Skardina to go back up top to Nychuk there. Just hopped over his stick. Tough bounce.
Shot from the line by Morgan. Hits Sullivan and comes to Vitelli. Vitelli rumbling up ice. Has a trailer. Broken up by Morgan. Drop pass was to Drevich. He's able to steal it back. And we do have a penalty is behind the net. Carroll getting into it with a Gladiator there.
I believe it's Nychuk back there, yeah.
And it is. We'll see who the penalty is going against. If it'll take them both or if it'll be one or the other.
I don't know how he's taking Nychuk. Nychuk got jumped.
Nychuk will take a seat. We'll see if Carroll does the same. And I think they're going to get them both. Yep. And so we'll see if these offset or if we'll go to 4-on-4 action. And I think it's likely we see roughing to both. But going back to the Sylvester goal, assisted by Nolan and Nychuk on the power play, 12:15 into the second. It's Atlanta on the board and has made it a 2-goal game, and it looks like we will go to 4-on-4. So we'll see who the open ice benefits more here, Andrew, and you would think that a speedy team like Savannah would benefit more from open ice, but I think if the Gladiators get control off this face-off, Andrew, I think it could end up benefiting them more than Savannah.
Yeah, certainly. 4-on-4, a lot of open ice here. Got to use that to your advantage. Going back to the Sylvester goal, it was a great zone entry on the power play by the Gladiators. They hit O'Brien up on a stretch pass, and he's able to get into the zone. Him along with Alex Young able to establish solid possession for the Gladiators. They're able to get it around up top to Nychuk, obviously leading to the interchange with Sylvester and leading to the goal, but that all starts with a great zone entry by the Gladiators.
And check that. It looks like we might be going to 5-on-5 here. Now see 5 Gladiators on the ice, but only 4 Ghost Pirates, as looks like an extra man going to the box. So could we see an Eco Electric power play here? We will. Tellier will serve a sentence for Carroll. And so back we go to the Eco Electric power play. Already 1-for-1 here tonight, but Andrew, keep in mind their quarterback on the power play, Chad Nychuk, in the box. We'll see how they fare. Behind the play, Cipollone getting mobbed by Walsh. Now finally able to rejoin the play as Zorzek finds an avenue to break out on the right wing to Francis. Bodied up on the zone entry, has Matier trailing, but Cipollone was well ahead, offside on Atlanta. 1:34 to go on the power play.
Yeah, just not clean enough there at the attacking blue line to get solid possession into the zone. I was going to say, I would have been surprised if we would have went even after Nychuk got jumped there by Caro. Glad to see the referees giving the Gladiators power play there.
Neutral zone face-off. Power play unit is Cipollone, Francis, Burns, Matier, and Orzek. Second unit for the Gladiators. Face-off goes to Savannah. Savannah will sky it down the length of the ice for Savannah clear.
Number 6, Noah Carroll, 4 minutes for roughing. And that means
So it is a double minor to Carroll for roughing. Nychuk gets 2, so that is the reason. As Vitelli turns it towards the net, save made by Hyder. Burns has the rebound, moving up ice, feeding right wing to Young. Toe drag, shot, blocked. Burns with the rebound, has a trailer. Sylvester shoots, save made by Cormier. Almost trickled over the goal line, but The Ghost Pirates able to free it from the area and send it down to Hyder.
Oh, Sylvester walking down Main Street there. Guy with the hot stick right now. Couldn't really put it in much of a better spot. Great save by Cormier with the shoulder.
Cody Sylvester having himself a game so far. Tried to keep the play alive, go across the line, but it ends up coming out of the zone. 30 seconds left on the power play. Captain right back in. At the left point, goes across. Young with space. Deeks inside. Alex Young is stopped by Cormier. One too many moves from Alex Young, but that would have been highlight reel. Would have finished it off.
Yeah, it was a great move by Young. Cormier just outweighted him. Made his move back to the forehand, and Cormier just sat there with him the entire time. Didn't overcommit. Cormier has made some great saves here in these last couple of minutes to keep the lead, too, for Savannah.
Power play comes to an end. Tellier out of the box. Savannah will wire it into Gladiator territory. Walsh to Granowitz behind the net. Tossed off the puck by Conroy. The Yale product tries to escape the grasp of the Ghost Pirates, who are able to center for a shot that goes over the goal. Players will bundle together in the near corner. A pelt checked off the puck. Battle for it there. Koopman doing the dirty work for Savannah. Is then checked by Carabia. Puck chipped back over to Conroy. Escapes on the left wing and will just rip it through the neutral zone for an icing with 3:37 to go. And I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's a tough icing call there. Looked like Rydell could have taken an extra step there to grab that one, but linesman doesn't agree. Faceoff's going to come back into the Gladiator zone with some tired skaters on the ice.
Critical face-off here. We'll see who gets tasked with it, as it looks like it'll be a pelt going up against Sullivan. Peep the shot count, though, Andrew. 18-17 in favor of the Gladiators, and what has been a much, much better second period compared to the first.
Yeah, those two power plays helped. Gladiators generated a lot of good momentum on those power plays, obviously scoring on that first one, but had a lot of really good opportunities on that second power play just now.
Drevich down the middle, bounces to the outside. From the right corner to the left has Brodzinski. Below to high they go. Nas could keep the play alive. Sullivan able to collect it in the neutral zone, as the Ghost Pirates rip it back in over to the left corner. Around they go, reversing back to the far wall. Pearson trying to pinch to keep it alive, could not. Jarvis comes barging in, slams it off the end wall. Cormier plays it to Nas, being pestered, able to escape, but does turn it over in the neutral zone. Possession back to Atlanta. 2:44 left in the second period. Ghost Pirates lead 3-1. Denemy on the right wing. Trunks off a defender. Leaves it for Matier. Matier shoots. Stop Cormier. Rebound back to Matier on the near wall. Burrows it deeper to O'Brien. Pass goes astray. Ghost Pirates skated out. Lapina up ice. Jabs it to the left corner. Has some open space that quickly evaporates as Nychuk pressures. Pass to the line. Bobbled by Rydell. And driven back into the right wing. Gladiators with it again as Nychuk will turn up ice. Chad Nychuk over center circle. Chips it to the left wing. Trying to do it himself. Ghost Pirates sniffing out. Here is Davies on the right wing. Has a trailer. Zabanet to the inside for Vitelli. And Hyder is there to grab it with 1:50 left in the second.
Yeah, you said it earlier this period, Guy. After giving up those three early ones, Ethan Hyder has really settled into this game here, making another huge save there on Vitelli, that one-timer from the slot.
So, the shot count after one period was 14-7 for Savannah. Count in the second, 11-4 in favor of the Gladiators. And as you mentioned, Andrew, those two power plays did help. And they do get a goal out of it from Sylvester. Deficit 2. Face off to the left of Hyder. Won by Atlanta. They'll float it to the neutral zone. Stretch pass. Looking for Francis on the moonshot, but goes down as an icing with 1:43 to go. And if you disagreed on the first one, you're definitely going to disagree on that
Francis
one.
had him. You know, because it's not necessarily a race to the dot. It's who's going to get to the puck first. And we saw it. Francis got there first. I don't know.
Interesting.
Francis is giving it to the linesman all the way back down the ice, and I don't blame him.
I think on that play, Andrew, the whole purpose of the race to the dot, so to speak, was to prevent injuries, crashing into the boards, racing towards pucks.
Yep.
But I think on that sequence, because the whistle was blown so late, I think the cause of that was because that puck was up in the air, and with the Black Raptors, I don't think anybody really knew where that puck was. Not even the linesman, and so he kind of waited for it to plop down before blowing the whistle.
Yep.
Hence the icing. And the Ghost Pirates do have the puck off of that as they blast it over the head of Hyder and in. Tellier tried to find a man behind the net, and Hughes defended well. Carabia with it on the far wing, lifts it to the neutral zone, and nobody knew where that one was either. Gladiators offside. And that's an interesting play to execute in this building, Andrew. I mean, it's a great idea in theory, but
yeah.
I almost wonder. I mean, the ceiling is black, the rafters are black. I mean, anybody watching on YouTube can see that where we are at in the rafters, it's all black. So you think about throwing a puck up in the air, kind of like a moonshot like you would see in football.
Yep.
You think if you're the receiver on that play, you're going to have a really tough time trying to figure out where that puck is.
Yeah, you call that the high lob, and puck comes down the wrong way and it spurts to one side. It's a hard play to handle as a defenseman. You can use that to your advantage.
Defensive zone faceoff won by the Gladiators. Nolan tries to burst it on the right wing, gets bottled up at the blue line, but continues to surge forward off the wall. Puck comes to the high slot, faking a shot as Nychuk looks to center, rolls off his stick, from behind the net finds Nolan. On the left wing, drives it to the end wall for Sylvester. 50 seconds left in the period. Nychuk drifting left, takes a shot, hits a couple of sticks in front, and is feathered to the near wing. Ghost Pirates able to lob it out to center. Mateer will whack it off the left wing wall and down. Cormier out to play it. Flings it around. Intercepted by Nolan on the near wall, but Koopman and company get it to the line and out with an extra bit of effort. 22 seconds left in the second period. Young back in, moving with Sylvester. Young on the backhand, centers for the captain. Boxed off of it in front. And the Ghost Pirates get it to the line, but not out. 9 seconds left. Nolan digging deeper, centering off a skate. Backdoor Sylvester. He will score! Cody Sylvester's got two, and it's a one-goal game with 4.5 seconds to go in the second period.
Just no quit by the Gladiators there at the end of the shift, at the end of the period. Puck gets down low to Nolan. He centers it. Conroy coming down from his point finds in the high slot. And Conroy, with eyes in the side of his head, finds Cody Sylvester sitting wide open on the back door. And he's got the entire net to shoot at.
And the Ghost Pirates had a chance to get it out. They had a chance to clear, and I believe it was Nolan with the keep. Able to keep the play alive, sets up the feed that eventually makes its way to Sylvester after a couple of ping pongs. And now we've got a fight. Jarvis and Drevich. Here they go. Drevich catching a couple of righties. Jarvis pops him with the rights. A fight for the ages. Jarvis brings him down. Second period comes to a wild end.
What an end to this second period, guy. Wow.
Gladiators pull within one. Sylvester had his second. 4.5 seconds left. And Jarvis and Logan Drevich say, all right, here's some more fireworks before the end of the period. It was a quick fight, but man, Andrew, were there some heavy hitters in that one.
Yeah, a couple of guys. Two guys who aren't the biggest guys in the world, but throwing some heavy rights. Great scrap to end the period there.
Andrew Jarvis, 5'9", 181, going up against Logan Drevich, 5'9", 173. And make no mistake, not the biggest guys in the world, but they can throw them.
Oh, yeah.
And we just saw it. Gladiators score twice in the second period, hold the Ghost Pirates off the board. This game is headed for a wild finish. Ghost Pirates lead 3-2. They did have a 3-0 lead after one. Andrew and Shelby will break down the second period. Look ahead to the third. Coming up next on the second intermission report, Goose Pirates had the first 3 in the first 65. Cody Sylvester double dips in the second period with 2. And don't count out the Gladiators. And we are gearing up for a wild third. Coming up next is the second intermission report. But first, a couple of words from our local sponsors.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track.
We don't just straighten you out, we empower you. We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. What a start to this intermission, a complete 180 from what we had in the beginning. Let's check with our scores. Savannah Ghost Pirates 3 with 19 shots on goal. The Atlanta Gladiators with 2 with 19 shots on goal as well. Now, Shelby Rabideau here alongside Andrew. We're going to be breaking down this period, and oh my goodness, it was a completely different story here in Gas South Arena. Andrew, what is going on in your head right now? I'm feeling electric.
Yeah, I said during the first intermission, might have been the worst period that the Gladiators had played at home this season, the first period. That second period might have been the best period they played at home all year. That was especially to end that period. The Gladiators, they came out. Hyder made some huge saves to keep them within the 3-goal deficit. They come out, they get the goal from Sylvester on the power play, and then just such a resilient shift at the end of that period there. Scoring with 4 seconds left, Sylvester pulled the Gladiators within 1 heading into this third period. You got to think, the Gladiators behind this great crowd, we got a lot of really good momentum going into this third period.
Yes, and do we want to break down those goals first, or you want to talk about how the Gladiators have switched up this gameplay?
Yeah, so let's break it down. Obviously, both goals coming from Cody Sylvester in that second period.
You know, I almost guessed him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, then why didn't you?
You know what? We're not going to talk about that.
So, here I am, got the box score here on the Gladiators app. Go ahead, download the Gladiators app. Got everything you'd ever need to keep up with this team on here. So, Cody Sylvester opens the scoring for the Gladiators. Midway through the second period on the power play, it was a great zone entry by the Gladiators. Stretch pass up to Jack O'Brien. Him and Alex Young play a little bit of catch on the wall there. Eventually, the puck comes around, finds Ryan Nolan, gets it to Chad Nychuk. Nychuk and Sylvester swap spots. Sylvester walking in from that right side, probably around the hash marks, around the dot. Rips one low on Cormier, just beat him with a perfect clean shot. It looked like Cormier wasn't really screened or anything. Sylvester really just beat him with a perfect shot. going for the scoring for the Gladiators there.
Yeah, and I wrote down that it was 29 seconds into that power play.
Yeah, and we said it coming into the game here. Savannah, one of the best penalty kills in the league, coming in 87%, third best penalty kill in the league. So for the Gladiators to score against their penalty kill, it's absolutely huge for them. A little later in the period, Gladiators got another power play, didn't score on it, but they had a lot of really good opportunities generated on that power play to kind of keep the momentum going in their direction, and it all leads to Cody Sylvester's second goal of the period. End of the period, you know, Savannah thinks they're going to get out of this period with a 2-goal lead, just trying to get the puck out of the zone. It's a great effort played by Ryan Nolan to keep the puck in the zone, gets it down into the corner, tries to center it, finds Ryan Conroy, and Conroy, I think everyone in this building, me included, thought he was going to shoot that puck, just not knowing how much time was left. He only had a couple of seconds left in that period. Grabs it in the high slot, eyes in the side of his head, over, slides it over to Sylvester. Cormier, completely committed to Conroy, slides it over to Sylvester, who has the entire net to shoot at. He had all day.
I was editing the highlight reel and completely open net for Sylvester.
Yeah, so, and you know, goals in the first minute of the period and the last minute of the period are absolute backbreakers, in my opinion. We saw it in the first period where Savannah scored 25 seconds in, and then they popped 2 more quick ones, and they took a 3-0 lead into the first intermission. We saw the opposite of that here with the Gladiators. Gladiators put one in with 5 seconds left in the period. It's just kind of bone-crushing for Savannah. You think you're going into the intermission with a 2-goal lead, and you give up a late one to let the Gladiators get right back in between one. So you got to think the Gladiators going to come out in this third period with a lot of juice and a lot of firepower to at least tie this one up, hopefully.
Yeah, and you make a good point of getting goals at the beginning of a period and at the end of the period really changed that momentum because of, like you said, in the first period, scoring so early on, the Savannah did, it really changed the way that I think the Gladiators played in that period. It was, like we talked about, completely different than what we've ever seen them play before. And honestly, such crazy momentum, crazy, like, the energy in the air from the fans as well during that last, it was 4 seconds left on the clock, and then we had Jarvis fighting at the end as well. And again, I was going to mention in the intermission that this game was very, like, it was more physical this period than we saw in the first. And I remember you saying in the first intermission that that was something that could help turn this game around.
Yeah, you mentioned, you know, how do you kind of try to contain the Ghost Pirates' speed, and I said you got to get physical with them, and the Gladiators, I thought, did a really good job of that. You know, Scardina had a couple of big hits. Karavia, big defenseman out there using his body. So Riley Appel, another big guy, big forward using his body, getting good checks on guys. So yeah, exactly. Trying to limit their speed, getting bodies on them, because, you know, guys don't like to be hit, so it kind of lets them know, like, hey, I'm out here, and if you're going to try and get past me, you're going to pay a price for it.
Yeah, and before we head into a little break here, I have a question for you, and I have a question for the chat. We didn't get to talk about it at our last game because it was Star Wars night, and there was very more, you know, pressing questions to be asked that night. But I want to know if anyone has any fun New Year's resolutions. So, Andrew, if you want to ponder what your New Year's resolutions are, and the chat can let us know, so when we come back we can discuss those. But again, here in Gas South Arena, Savannah Ghost Pirates 3 and Atlanta Gladiators 2. We'll see you after the break.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track. We don't just straighten you out, we empower you.
We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Gas South Arena. Shelby Rabideau here with Andrew Fleming. We're going to be talking more about what we want to see in this third period. First, let's check in with that score. Savannah Ghost Pirates 3, 19 shots on goal, and the Atlanta Gladiators 2, also having 19 shots on goal. Definitely a different pace here in this second period, going into second intermission here for the Gladiators, which is a very good thing to see. We also want to throw it to the chat and ask a little question. We want to know what your New Year's resolutions are. Andrew and I are going to discuss that towards the end of the intermission. First, we want to talk more about what we want to see and more of what we saw in that second period. I wanted to bring up Alex Young. I felt that he was playing very, very well during that second intermission. I felt at a moment's time, he was really the one taking the puck places, putting pucks on net, and really carrying the team for a minute there. And I just thought he did a lot of nifty moves throughout the period.
Yeah, so obviously with the loss of Louis Boudon, Alex Young slides up to on that first line center slot in there with Sylvester and Nolan. And Young, you know, he's kind of the facilitator on that line. Obviously, he didn't factor in on the score sheet on any of the goals that were scored in that second period, but he was on the ice for them. Obviously, on that power play, he was a big proponent of that great zone entry that the Gladiators had that eventually led to the Sylvester goal. And then again, at the end of the period, working hard in the offensive zone that led to Sylvester's second of the period. And yeah, Alex Young's been slid up to that first line, and he's played really well on that first line since he's been up there.
Yeah, and I noticed, I looked, again, shout out to the Gladiators app. I was looking at who leads the team in points, and Alex Young has 25. He currently leads the team in points as well. So I thought it was nice to see him really, you know, taking advantage of having that new spot on the first line there.
Yeah, it seems. Obviously, we saw it in that second period. Him and Sylvester seemed to be clicking a little bit more. I'd like to see that connection kind of grow and keep paying dividends for the Gladiators.
Yeah, and speaking of wanting to see things, what do you want to see in this third period coming up here?
I'd like to see the Gladiators
tie the
take
game
this
up?
moment, obviously, but, you know, kind of take this momentum that you gained from the end of that second period. You know, it's a huge momentum shift scoring that late in a period to pull this game back within one. I'd love to see the Gladiators come out here and strike early.
Mm-hmm.
You know, strike early, get this game tied up early in this third period, and then maybe pot another one in this third period, try and get out of here with a regulation W.
If you didn't know, the Gladiators scored the most goals in the third period. That is their best scoring period. So maybe we will see a tie
Let's
game.
hope.
Yeah, there's live for the hope of it all, everyone. Now, back to the question.
Yes.
Now, if you haven't answered already, please let us know your New Year's resolution. Andrew, do you want to share yours or do you want me to go first?
You go ahead.
Me?
I'll let
Okay.
you go ahead, Shelby.
So, I have a serious one, I have a silly one. So, my first one is that I want to use my phone less. I also have started using my phone, stop using my phone 30 minutes before bed, and that helps me sleep so much better.
Really?
But
Okay.
but I want to use it less during the day. Because you ever look at your screen time and it tells you you've spent 5 hours on your phone that day?
I really
That's
try
me,
not to
5
look at
hours
my
a day.
screen time.
And I need to
Oh, yeah,
not do
no,
that.
I'm with you. I definitely look at my phone that much, but I just try not to
I don't know what
I don't want to know that.
I don't know what I'm doing on there where I'm there for 5 hours. Like, I need a hobby or something. And my other New Year's resolution, my silly one, is I need to stop saying slay so much. You know, I haven't said it here on the broadcast, but there might be a time. Like, in the next goal, slay. Yeah, not going to do that, but maybe I might. Now, what is your New Year's resolution?
I'm going to go with eat less fast food.
Ooh.
I tend to eat a lot more fast food than I should. I have a McDonald's like basically within like walking distance from my house.
So you walk there?
No, I don't. I drive.
You're
there.
like, let me get my steps in
If
and get
I
a
really
Big Mac.
wanted to, I could. But you know, it's really bad that I have a McDonald's. Like it's like a 2-minute drive.
You know, I haven't ate at McDonald's since 7th grade.
That's really good.
I saw Super Size Me and I never went back.
That's
but
really
let's
good for
see
you.
what
I wish I
everyone's
could.
saying in the chat.
Let's see. Do we have anyone? J97167 says you should never look at those statistics about phone usage. I'm with you. I don't want to know that.
There's a lot of things I
don't wanna
shouldn't
know that.
do. And unfortunately, I do them anyway.
Peach Fuzz says New Year's resolution: more chat GPT, less listening to my wife. No comment.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I should just. My face says it all. You should ask Guy when he comes back what his New Year's resolution is.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
All right. And it looks like the Gladiators are also coming back to the ice. So we will see when we come back. Again, going into the third period, Savannah Ghost Pirates 3, Atlanta Gladiators 2.
Coming up on a very, very exciting third period here from Gas South Arena. Ghost Pirates scored the first 3 in the opening 7 minutes of the game. Gladiators scored twice off the stick of Cody Sylvester in the second to make it from a 3-goal deficit to just 1. The difference here at the start of the third. I am very much excited to see what we have in store for the third period. Guy Chiarenza alongside Andrew Fleming. Anything goes here in the third period, Andrew. Seems like it's going to be that kind of game, and might come down to who wants it more here in the third. Gladiators certainly able to turn things around from the first compared to the second. And so we'll see who wins the third period and ultimately this game. First period belonged to Savannah. Second period to Atlanta. Pivotal third here at Gas South Arena. Gladiators wearing their black jerseys with white numbers and blue trimscape from right to left. Savannah wearing white jerseys with black numbers and green trim. Escape from left to right. Back to live action. Mateer with it, and off the wall. Have a holding penalty. And that is going to go against O'Brien. So for the first time today, we will see Savannah's power play. And conversely, the Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda penalty kill.
Yeah, Savannah coming into this game tonight, 17% on the power play, only 23rd in the league. Gladiators right now on the penalty kill, clicking at 84.3% for 8th in the league. So big kill here for the Gladiators. Try and keep this one in between one.
Gladiators were 2 for 2 on the PK in their last game against Greensboro. Savannah wins the draw. Savannah from the right point. Glides it to the wall to Tellier, back to the line for Savannah. Tellier again, right circle, back to Savannah. He'll wire it towards the goal. Stick save, Hyder. Rebound, stays in play. From the far corner. Hughes up the wall to Tellier. Now at the line, Savannah again. Has a man open on the left wing in Brodzinski. Back to Savannah. Brodzinski across. Tellier in front. Shot is blocked by Nychuk. Can he clear? No. Held in by Savannah. Centers inside for a shot by Tellier. Off a stick and out of play. 1:22 left on the penalty to O'Brien.
Yeah, great work by that Nychuk-Mateer pair early on this penalty kill. First one, Nychuk breaking up a pass. Looked like Tellier had a man wide open on the back door, and Nychuk able to break up that pass. And there, Mateer with a great block shot, getting that puck out of play for a whistle so he can get a good change here.
And watch out here for number 2 in white. Dennis Savannah has 6 power play assists this season to lead the Ghost Pirates, as he is quarterbacking this power play for Savannah. They win another face-off. Savannah, high slot, feeds right wing for a bomb by Tellier. Hyder rises to the occasion to stop it. Tellier again, right circle, feeds it to the goal line. Back to Tellier in the near corner. Drifting, tries to center, hits the stick of Karabia and stays to the outside. Brodzinski tries to feed it inside, hits the stick and comes back to him. Now on his forehand, looks to center, and the same thing happens. Puck goes to the far corner. Conroy able to shove a man off of it. Defeated to Savannah at the line. Savannah, left wing shot. High and wide from Brodzinski. Now at the right point, they'll feed it to the left again. Brodzinski in front, hit a stick and went back door. Walsh fanned on it. 30 seconds left on the power play. Savannah to Tellier, right circle, back to Savannah. Hits a man in front on its way to the goal. Back to Savannah again, and Hyder's got it with 21 seconds left on the penalty to O'Brien.
Your goalie's got to be your best penalty killer, and Ethan Hyder has proven that right now. A couple of huge saves on this PK for the Gladiators. Absolutely huge from Hyder.
And think back to the second period, Andrew, and even later stages of the first. There were chances for Savannah to make this a 4-0 game, and Ethan Hyder made a couple of big saves and has really settled into this game. And we talked about all season long, the Gladiators' play stems from their goaltending. Ethan Hyder has brought them back into this game. Mateer snatches it off the end wall, clears down, and that should just about do it for the penalty kill. Job well done. Back to even strength. O'Brien out of the box, and he will join the play. At center circle, Scardina takes it and springs into action. Barreling down the right wing, checked off the puck by Rydell. We'll scramble over to the near corner. Francis there to meet it. We'll jumble over to the far side. Ghost Pirates clearing attempt held in by Conroy. Nice little side step. Keeps it in his grasp. Twists it to Francis further down the wall. And now he is scrubbed off of it as the Ghost Pirates maneuver to the near wall. Sylvester off of it. Tries to feed it to the slot. Ghost Pirates able to box the Gladiators away. Send it the length of the ice. Icing on Savannah. Just 9 seconds under 3 minutes gone by.
So, Guy, I want to ask you, me and Shelby talked about in the second intermission, any New Year's resolutions for you?
You know, for me, I'm just trying to get out and do more things, you know, not just stay home and watch TV and play video games, trying to do some new experiences. Get out in the community, man. You know, like, do some new things around town. I mean, for me, it's a new place, and there's a lot to explore, so trying to go a little bit better of, you know, thinking outside the box and finding some fun things to do. And I will take recommendations in the chat from some locals. Gladiators on the attack. The right wing. Out of the pile-up comes Young and then chips it to the line. There is Sylvester feeding left wing for Conroy. His shot, low drive, stopped by Cormier. Second shot by Sylvester hits a stick and goes wide. Nolan to Conroy at the line. They'll trade places. Conroy drifting left. Feeds it to Nolan. His shot is blocked. Takes another, blocked again by Lapina. And the Ghost Pirates twist it through center. Should be another icing. And it will be. With 3:35 gone by in the third.
Yeah, another really good shift by this Gladiators first line of Sylvester, Young, and Nolan, generating some pretty good offensive zone scoring chances there. Puck got up high to Sylvester. Fake slap shot down to Conroy, who was cutting down that left side there. Had all day to shoot. Cormier, another big save.
Face off to the left of Cormier. Young in that top line staying out there. Young off the face off, wins it to Nychuk. Spinorama down the wall. Shrugs off Savannah. Stiff arms him. Drives towards the net. Nychuk shoots. Blocked in front. And goes away from the goal mouth. He'll take it back in at the line. Takes a shot again. Blocked in front. Rebound available in the far corner. Nolan is there. Gets upended from his knees. Able to chip it to Young. Alex Young, former draft pick of San Jose. Spears it to the left corner now. And from there, the Ghost Pirates will rainbow it through center. Not enough steam this time for an icing, as Nychuk will hunt it down. Ghost Pirates break out on the left wing. Granowitz, chip and chase. Koopman will get there. Working against Yoder. Pinned up against the wall. Gladiators try and squiggle their way out, but Ghost Pirates making it difficult. They burrow their way to the end wall. Koopman back on it. Looks to center. Pass away from the intended target in Walsh. They'll go all the way down to Cormier. Granowitz. Quickly to the right wing for Koopman. Had a goal in the last meeting between these two. The only one for Savannah in that game. Gets squashed off the puck by Conroy. Nice check in the near corner. Gladiators lob it to the neutral zone. Morgan closing on in. Backhand shot just wide. Didn't quite have the angle. Sticking with it is Peter Morgan. SUNY Geneseo product. Leaves it for a pelt. Will drive it to the trapezoid for Burns. Takes a shot. Rebound available. Oh, and Orszak was streaking in, but a right pad save by Cormier. Kept it out of the net. And Cormier lost his stick on that play. Thought about going to get it, but didn't. A pelt. Flings it on the right side. Cipolone first man on it. Driven into the boards. Working with Denemy. The Ghost Pirates will get out, and now Cormier will grab his stick. Savannah working back in deep. On the left wing, Davies slammed off of it. O'Brien set up that play to Conroy, who ends up icing the puck 6 minutes into the third. Shot count 23-22 in favor of the Gladiators.
Couple of great opportunities for the Gladiators there. Cormier again coming up huge.
An interesting sequence here, Andrew. The off-ice officials in the scores table are pointing towards the clock, and they were motioning because now Jarvis and Drevich, who fought at the end of the second period, are released from their sentences and will rejoin the game. I think the officials kind of forgot about that one for a second. They were ready to get things moving again, but they are allowed to exit the penalty boxes, and Ghost Pirates get their captain back, and the Gladiators get their alternate captain back in Jarvis. Atlanta with it. Nychuk quickly to Mateer. Way behind Hyder. Got to lay the land first. Both of Atlanta's goals off the stick of Cody Sylvester. The first one a snipe on the power play. The second a tap in backdoor. Shot by Nychuk. Hits the stick of Pearson and goes wide. Now Savannah motors through the neutral zone. Zabanet, boys, he got some speed. Makes his way to the goal line and not much more. Denemy from the end wall quickly taps it, looking for Nychuk. Stolen away by Tellier. Feeds it left wing for a pass inside. Hyder just gets enough of it, and the Gladiators sweep it away. But not out. At the left point, they feed it across. Peterson shoots, gobbled up by Hyder. He'll freeze it with 12:58 to go in the third. This game staying interesting, but no goals yet in the third. Savannah leads 3-2. 12:58 to go in regulation. We are back after this. Faced off to the left of Hyder to resume action. Great crowd here in attendance. A couple of members of our chat are in attendance. Shout out to Lynette in section 100. I believe Justin Burke might be in the house as well. I believe J9 as well. Military night here at Gas South Arena as Scardina chases it to Savannah end wall. Ghost Pirates peeled away from there. Maneuver out to the neutral zone. On the right wing, Davies moving stride for stride with Vitelli. Look to center it inside to Lapina. Doesn't get it. Francis moves up ice. Over the red line, drifting to the right wing. Takes a shot, hits the end wall, and softly plops on the corner. Ghost Pirates trying to keep it moving. And do run out to center and dump it in. Conroy glides down the left wing with a burst of speed. Conroy shoots, stick save, Cormier. Rebound to Savannah, softly off the wall, able to locate Granowitz, then turns it over. Young, cross ice, on time for Conroy. Chips it down deeper. Nolan from the trapezoid tries to go to Young in the near corner. Pass gets picked off, and the Ghost Pirates will try and get out. Turn it over to Sylvester, but couldn't feed it to the slot. Back in the neutral zone now. Conroy from the right wing. Fires off the end wall. Cormier slows it down. Backhands it to Savannah, who finds Granowitz moving on the right wing. Enters Gladiator ice. Softly chips it to the trapezoid. Nolan's there to meet it. Turns it over to Granowitz, but thankfully puck rolled off of his stick, and the Gladiators will slam it to center. 11:08 to go in the third. Ghost Pirates up ice. Strevich centers. Oh my! What a save by Hyder! Left wing shot by Drevich. Goes up and over the cage. I believe that was Brodzinski streaking in for what would have been a tap-in goal on the pass from Drevich if Hyder hadn't stopped it. Drevich shanks a one-timer from the right circle. Nychuk defending, puts the pressure on. Long-range shot pinballs over to the left wing. Shot from the line goes wide. Ghost Pirates just letting everything fly on goal at this point. Near corner, long-range shot goes over the head of Hyder. Gathered by Conroy. Atlanta lifts it to center, where it'll be controlled by Heward. 10:18 to go in the third period. Fourth line on the ice for the Gladiators. Peter Morgan tries to wrestle away from Tellier. Instead, the Savannah forward stretches it up to Zabanet. Behind the net, tries to center for Tellier. Great defensive play by Jarvis. Ends up putting that to an end. Gladiators up ice. Denemy thwarted on the zone entry. Ghost Pirates have it back, and it'll be interesting to see how the possession battle shakes out in the final 10 minutes here of the third. Bit about even here in the first 10 of the final frame.
Yeah, if you're the Gladiators, you're down one here. You got to start pushing the offense a little bit.
There haven't really been a lot of whistles here in this third period either. As the Ghost Pirates swirl it to the left wing, Nas pinching in. Panthers prospect gets it to the line. Lapina keeps it in despite the pressure from Cipollone. The Gladiators are able to wrestle out to center. O'Brien scrambling upwards. Has some space for a backhand shot. That's fought off by Cormier. O'Brien has scored in his last 2 games as a Gladiator. Almost had one in his third. There's a takeaway from Orzek. Moving up ice. Feeds it right wing to Cipollone. Digs it deep to Denemy. Returned pass to Cipollone. Doesn't make its way to the target. And now moving up ice is Carroll. Drop pass. Zano delays. Centers. Oh, on the doorstep. Conroy makes the stop. Ghost Pirates looking for another tap-in pass backdoor. Conroy there to make the defensive stand. He's got it from his own goal line. Lifting up, feeds it right to Nychuk. Gladiators will now cast it through the neutral zone. Icing, unintentional. 8:22 to go.
Yeah, it's a tough icing to take if you're the Gladiators there. Nychuk looking up, and he just split right between Scardina and Francis. Face-off going to come back to the right of Hyder here.
Ethan Scardina will be tasked with this face-off. Wins it against Walsh. Nychuk, left wing, slots it up ahead. Try to hit a home run pass to Francis. Ends up getting picked off by Rydell. Now Walsh, left wing, quickly back to him, to the end wall. Burns to Nychuk. Pitches it to the blue line, held in, flagged down by Koopman. Blues Pirates continue to work offensively. Gladiators trying to exit again. Burns flips it to the line. This time it does get out. Bouncing puck at center, hauled in by Sullivan. He'll make his way to the far corner where he's checked by Jarvis. Batir joining the fray, as is Drevich. Blues Pirates captain takes it out of that pile and then gets into a pickle jam of his own. One after another. They all join that pile. Now Alex Young in there. Rodzinski able to strip it away. Cross ice they go to Pearson. Shot gets deflected in front of Hyder and wide. Sullivan to the trapezoid for Drevich. Looks to center. Picked off by Nolan. 7 minutes left in the third. Young sidesteps the pressure from Zabade. Has Nolan left wing. He'll cut to the goal and is forced behind it. Good defensive play by Pearson. Now Zabade goes right down the middle, cutting towards the net. Boxed off the puck. Young with Orzek. Can't take it away. Shot by Tellier. Goes well wide of Hyder. Tellier slammed up against the boards by Corabia. Young in that pile. Loses it. Savannah in front. Shot is blocked by Orzek. Now Tellier. There's a jab it to the line. Sylvester picks it off and sends it down. Icing on the Gladiators. They thought they could get away with it. They didn't. And they all hopped onto the bench and they're going to have to come back out.
They tried. It's a good effort by the boys to try and get off there on the icing, but linesman got him.
Face off to the left of Hyder. Lapina will take it against Young. Lapina wins the faceoff. Quick shot, Davies, and he scores! Hyder got some of it, but not all. And the Ghost Pirates end the Gladiators' 2-goal run. It is 4-2.
That's the third goal that the Savannah Ghost Pirates have scored off of a quick face-off play there. Just Lapina, quick face-off win back to Davies. Davies steps inside, rips one through traffic, low blocker, and that one just squeaks through Hyder to restore Savannah's 2-goal lead.
These set plays have been killing the Gladiators all night long, and Davies might have the most impactful of them all. Makes it a 4-2 Savannah lead, and as you mentioned, Andrew, restores the Ghost Pirates' 2-goal lead that they had back in the first period. Davies gets goal number 8 on the year. As Savannah ices the puck with 5:50 to go.
Yeah, that goal stems from an icing. Gladiators with tired bodies out there get caught on an icing. Savannah allowed to make a change, get fresh legs out there. And it hurts the Gladiators. They get scored off of right immediately off that icing. It's a bad break.
Still some time, 5:50 to go in the third, but definitely does get a little bit tougher as the Gladiators continue to attempt to come back. So the goal scorer, Davies, slams it in from the neutral zone, heads off to the bench. O'Brien takes it on the move, rumbling down the right wing, shrugged off of the puck. Vitelli off the end wall. It's Heward, turns it over to Denemy, feeding it to O'Brien, fires a shot wide. Denemy to the line. Matier holds, shoots, blocked in front. Puck is loose. Denemy has it. From the left wing wall, has Nychuk at the line. Drifting right, takes a shot off a stick and over the cage. Puck loose in the near corner. Nychuk tries to center, nobody home. Heward from center circle, gains the red line, pops it to the right of Hyder. He'll come out to play it. Feeds it to Francis. He will try and pass ahead. Hits a Ghost Pirate. Boomerangs back to him. Savannah strips it away, and they'll continue to press on the forecheck. In the far corner, Koopman emerges. Behind the cage, centers for a shot by Pearson. Save Hyder, and they score on the rebound. This time, it is going to be Ryan Sullivan to make it a 5-2 Savannah lead.
Yep, good ozone possession time there by the Ghost Pirates. Able to bring around the net, send it up top to Pearson for a one-timer. Hyder makes the first save with his pad, but it kicks it right out to Sullivan, who's there. Makes no mistake on the rebound. Gives Savannah their 3-goal lead back now.
And so, we see shades of the first period here late in the third. Another defensive breakdown for the Gladiators, starting from below the goal line, and Savannah has undone Cody Sylvester's and the Gladiators' work from the second period. The deficit back to 3. Long drive. Hyder's got it. Freezes with 4:17 to go, and that will send us to our final media timeout of the night. Ghost Pirates 5, Gladiators 2, 4:17 to go. We are back after this.
Desserts are popping up on Crumbles, man.
More than just cookies.
Face-off to the right of Hyder. Drevish will take it against a pelt and win it. Shot off the face-off, makes its way to Hyder. Tries to jab it away and does. Now on the left wing, sharp angle shot fought off by Hyder and cleared out to the neutral zone where it's handled by Pearson. He will shove it back in where Jarvis will track it down. Gladiators trying to get something here late. Under 4 minutes to go. Ghost Pirates from center. Whack it back in. Gladiators able to speeder it out to center. Ghost Pirates return the favor by dropping it in to the left of Hyder. Carabia off the wall locates Nychuk. Young feeds it right wing to Nolan. Stops on a dime at the half wall. Tries to center. Ends up getting picked off by Carroll. Exit attempt. Broken up. Gladiators pressing on the forecheck. Ghost Pirates able to escape now. Shove it in left wing. Hyder out to play it. Leaves it with under 3 to go. Matier moving down the left wing. Gets bodied off the puck. Tellier steps in. Lapina with it for Savannah. Both these teams will hit the bus at the end of the game as we head off to Savannah for tomorrow night's matchup in the rematch of the Battle of Georgia. Gladiators will have a bad taste in their mouth after this one. And we'll see how they respond at End Market Arena. 6:40 pregame show, 7 o'clock puck drop. We'll have it all for you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, as this one is just about done. 2 minutes to go in the third. Conroy with it behind Hyder. Looking up ice. Feathers it left side to Scardina. On the run, Scardina gains the left circle and centers. Looking for a man backdoor. Francis lost an edge. Ghost Pirates take it, go up ice, have a man left wing. Shot there, glove save. Hyder on the Ghost Pirates' 29th shot of the night. Taking that was Liam Walsh. 1:40 to go.
You know, I think the Gladiators can take some positives out of this game tonight. You know, obviously they got down early, 3-0 deficit early in the first period, but the way they played in that second period, getting it back close there, positives to take away from this one.
5 goals against. This is the most goals that the Gladiators have given up at home this season. Pearson, the right wing, drops it down deeper. Savannah to the line for Pearson. Scans the ice, takes a shot overhead and out of play with 1:16 to go in the third. So we'll get to see how the Gladiators respond after a loss. And I believe I actually just spoke. You think all the way back to November 26th, South Carolina actually scored 6 in this building. Or make that, excuse me, the Gladiators scored 6. So this is the most goals that the Gladiators have given up at home. And they will look to quickly put this one in the rearview mirror. 5-game win streak will come to an end. Savannah will make it a season-long 4-game win streak at the end of this one. And the Gladiators' 7-game home winning streak will come to a close as well. 1 minute left in the third. Nychuk scrambles to the line. Picked away by the Ghost Pirates. Brodzinski shoots. Another glove save for Hyder. 45.7 to go. And it's going to be very interesting, Andrew. I think you mentioned there were some positives here tonight, and a loss like this, it's hard to find some positives. But I mean, for me, the thing that stands out was the resilience from the Gladiators in the second period. I mean, you think going down by 3 the first 7 minutes, a lot of teams would just pack it in, look ahead to tomorrow, especially with a home and home. And Cody Sylvester and the Gladiators got 2 in the second period to make this thing interesting in the third. But the goal from Davies really ends up being the dagger. Ghost Pirates then extend their lead to 3, and that's about it. But there is some things to like out of this game. A shot by O'Brien goes over the head of Cormier.
But yeah, that's a good captain. You know, Sylvester kind of dragging his guys into the fight tonight. They went down early. He puts in 2 to get his guys back in this one, but just not enough. Dug themselves a little too deep of a hole tonight.
O'Brien, cross ice through the neutral zone to Denemy. Chips it into the far corner. Savannah comes out of the pile. The lift at the end of the ice. No icing. Orzek will field it. And that is all. The Savannah Ghost Pirates become just the 3rd team to defeat the Gladiators in this building, and they do it 5-2 here on Friday night. Ghost Pirates with that win improved to 13-2-1. Gladiators suffered their 7th loss of the season. They dropped to 21-7. And tomorrow is a new day. We'll see if Atlanta can fight back in the rematch tomorrow night at End Market Arena. 7 o'clock puck drop, 6:40 pregame show. We'll have it all for you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. And Very uncharacteristic night for the Gladiators here today, Andrew. But, I mean, first and foremost, it kind of starts from puck drop. They came out flat.
Yeah, you know, they came out not ready to go, and Savannah did, and we saw it 25 seconds into the game. Savannah takes an early lead, and then they put in 2 more before our first commercial break to make it 3-0 early in the first period. And obviously the Gladiators fought back hard, made it a close, tight game in that second period, but ultimately just dug themselves too deep of a hole there in that first period, not able to complete the comeback. And Savannah comes into the third period, puts in 2 more insurance markers, and that's all she wrote.
Here's how it all broke down. Ghost Pirates scored 25 seconds in, and Will Rydell gets the goal from Tellier and Hughes. And you mentioned this goal, Andrew, to start. It was almost like it was a set play, and it was. Yep. I mean, the first couple of moments of the game, very much scripted from Savannah. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, how they wanted to execute it, and they did. They were able to cycle it around, get it to Tellier at the line, and he blasted into the back of the net. And Savannah has a 1-0 lead. And they don't pull up from then. In fact, they end up getting better as the period goes on. 3:26 in. Savannah scores from Tellier and Hughes, and that makes it a 2-0 Savannah lead. And then you blink and you miss it. 6:55 in. Heward gets one from Granowitz and Koopman to make it 3-0. And at that point, the atmosphere in the building kind of just gets sucked out. Crowd out of it, which was a good crowd here tonight. As you mentioned earlier in the game, about over 6,000 in the building here today for military night. That really took the game, the crowd out of the game. Savannah goes into the locker room with a 3-goal lead, and everybody else in the building is left here wondering, what was this Gladiators team going to do in the second period? And you mentioned late in regulation, there were some positives for the Gladiators in this game, and here is one of them. You get to the second period, Cody Sylvester and the Gladiators able to turn things on a little bit. You get the first power play of the game, and they score on it. Sylvester, an absolute missile from the right circle. Tickles the twine from Nolan and Nychuk to make it 3-1. Then they make it 3-2. Another late one from Sylvester off a great feed. Backdoor. Nolan is able to keep the puck in on the clearing attempt from Savannah. Finds Sylvester backdoor for the score. That makes it 3-2. Captain's got 2. Scores with 4.5 seconds left. And then at the end of the second period, you get a fight between Jarvis and Drevich. And this crowd was right back into it, Andrew. It was like a brand new game. Despite the Gladiators down by 1, it felt like the energy had been put back into the building, and we were all kind of wondering here up on Press Road, and it really felt like in the building as well, when, not if, were the Gladiators going to score that third goal. But unfortunately, it doesn't end up happening. You get to the third period, and Atlanta's going toe-to-toe with Savannah there. Back and forth, possession battle, quite even there in the third period, but it is another set play off a face-off, Andrew. We talked about this all night long. Ghost Pirates win one on the right circle. Quick setup to Davies. Puts it on goal. Hyder gets a piece of it, but not enough. It ends up going to the back of the net. And it's not the game-winning goal, but it certainly felt like it because a tally from Davies really was the dagger. Attacking another one from Sullivan about 2 minutes later, and that's it. Ghost Pirates get out of the building with a 5-2 victory. And well, let's go back defensively to start. Very much an off game for the Gladiators. 5 goals against. That's the most goals that have been scored against the Gladiators in this building this season. But it was very uncharacteristic of them to allow some of these plays to happen here tonight.
Yeah, you know, their defensive structure was just kind of lacking from the start a little bit. That first goal, that goal from Rydell at the point, they allow that puck to get to Rydell. They aren't able to get in the shooting lane. Rydell's able to get that one through. They allow Hyder to get screened. Hyder doesn't see the puck coming through. Ends up in the back of the net. I mean, we saw it all night. It even a little bit in the third period, you know. They iced the puck on a play where they probably could have gotten to the red line and got it in and gotten a clean change, but he gets stuck out there with tired bodies. And Davies scores that 4th goal right off the draw, and it kind of put this one away.
Yep, and it felt like the Gladiators, who've been pressing back since the start of the second period to that point from the Davies goal, it felt like once Davies scored is when they let up. And then you started seeing more of the play that we saw back in the first period at the end of the third, and then that's when we see the goal from Sullivan. And so the good thing for the Gladiators is there's not a lot of time to mull on it. I mean, they got to get on the bus here tonight. They'll head to Savannah, and then you get to do it all again. So there is a grudge match tomorrow night at End Market Arena. Gladiators and the Ghost Pirates cap off the home and home for the Battle of Georgia, and the first one went to Savannah here tonight. And I'm curious, Andrew, to see how this Gladiators team responds, not just tomorrow night as a whole, but really in the first few shifts of that game, because they were not the Gladiators that we know early on here in this one.
Yeah, they weren't ready to go here early tonight. You got to hope that they're going to be ready to go early tomorrow night, and I think Coach Ginn will have his guys ready to go early tomorrow.
We'll have it all for you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network on Flow Hockey and YouTube. Don't miss the action. 7 o'clock puck drop, 6:40 pregame show. Gladiators do win the special teams battle. They go 1 for 2 on the Eco Electric power play, 1 for 1 on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill, but special teams not enough in this one. Ghost Pirates win it by scoring 30 shots, scoring 5 times on 30 shots, and Atlanta scores twice on 24 shots as Evan Cormier stops 22-24 to get the victory for Savannah. And so that'll send us into tomorrow night's action with the Gladiators looking for revenge, and it should be fun. Ghost Pirates now 14-13-2-1. Gladiators drop to 21-7, looking to bite back. We'll see how they do tomorrow night. That'll do it for us here in Duluth. Once again, your final score, Savannah 5, Atlanta 2. You can't win them all, and tomorrow is a new day. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long, and thank you for watching this presentation of the ECHL. Guy Chiarenza for Andrew Fleming, Shelby Rabideau. We'll see you next time here on the Gladiators broadcast.